Hello everybody. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. How's everybody doing? Hope you're doing well. Doing pretty good, you know. Saturday, Skyrim stream. Always a good day. Let's see. We're gonna say hi to some folks here. Silent Echo, first one in the chat. Welcome, buddy. Nobody in Dungeons. Welcome. You ready for this? I'm ready. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm too ready here. I'm still creating links and stuff. Oh, don't want to do the homepage of the Nexus. Probably break terms of service with some boobies or something on there. All right. Let's see here. Magus got to go pick up his brother, so he's going to be out for the last hour or so. No problem, no problem. Thanks for stopping by. We'll hang out for a little bit at least. Gavin Goof Gaines. Hey, buddy. Glad to see you back in chat. The End King. There you go. Well here, Karn, finishing up the new setup, finishing touches and all that, but LODs are done. Yeah, I saw that your new CPU is really flying through those LODs like nothing. That's awesome. That's good to hear. All right, let's see. Any housekeeping or anything that we have to deal with? Okay, just a little bit here. I just want to be better about promoting my channel here. So if you are just happening upon this channel and you're not a channel regular, which everybody in chat seems to be a channel regular right now, but if you're finding the VOD or whatever, do check out my channel. My mission statement is to help you do cool stuff in Skyrim and help you have better playthroughs. So check out the channel, check out some of the build guides, some of the little gameplay guides and stuff. And if you like what you see, go ahead and leave a subscription. It helps the channel out a lot and motivates me to make more and better content, so please do that. Otherwise, no news. Which, these days, no news is good news, I suppose. And then, I do have some mods that I wanted to showcase a little bit. Well, maybe not showcase, but show you guys what caught my eye during the week. So the first one up here is Kitty Tails has a new destruction magic pack. This one just adds 3 new expert and 1 master level spells. They're all kind of cool looking. They do something a little different than what your normal expert level spells are gonna do. And they have this little gameplay showcase, the little fire tornado here. Now, just like in classic Kitty Tails fashion, it's pretty bombastic. It's huge. It's gonna cover up the screen, but it's probably gonna give you something that you didn't really have in the vanilla game. Very cool looking. I like that one. I might experiment with these in a build a little bit, but I want to try some of their other builds, or their other spell packs first, like the blood magic stuff and maybe some of the light magic, just to flesh out things like vampire builds and paladin builds in the future, you know. And then we have like an ice pyre here. It's not really a tornado. The tornado kind of works as a summon. You just fire and forget it, and then you can fight while that thing like chases around enemies. The pyre here looks like it does somewhat the same. It's gonna find an enemy. It's gonna pop a huge ice pyre underneath them, huge column. So that's why, you know, they had to punch the guard, and once they punched the guard, it procced automatically for them. Pretty cool stuff. And then in the same kind of summon fashion here, we got some ball lightning that attacks on its own. And yeah, this kind of brings a summon vibe to destruction, which I think is an interesting concept. Very powerful, as always. And this is the last, I think this is the master level one. It's kind of like a maelstrom type. All the elements at once, huge storm type thing. That looks really cool. This has to be the master level one, right? Area of effect. She's getting shot in the neck. It's amazing. So it looks like it just kind of sits in one spot. It doesn't look like it travels much. You just kind of spawn it on an enemy or ground. I don't know. I know a lot of people are really into the Kitty Tails mods. James Ansel is here. He's a big fan of the Kitty Tails stuff. The stuff always looks cool. I haven't used it just because I have a dearth of spell mods that I haven't gotten through and actually studied yet anyway. We'll get there eventually. Was looking at those mods the other day. Yeah. All those are master level. It says Diamond Splash, which is the it says 3 of these are expert level and 1 of them's master. Is it meant to be small screen or not? Oh yeah, sorry about that. I'm trying to get better at the screen switching when I'm talking to chat. So I put my beautiful ugly mug up there. And then I forgot to switch back. So yeah, that one looks cool. Thanks for the call out on that, Blader. And welcome. We got Arif in chat as well. I just got into some of the Kitty Tail stuff since everyone and their brother's been asking me. Some are pretty good. Yeah, for sure. I mean, with how many like spells and stuff they have, I would imagine some of them are hit or miss. They definitely look cool. Let's get the video to 69 likes. Yes, indeed. Hey, I would bend over backwards for 69 viewers. And I do mean that in a sexual way. I'm kidding. Yeah, before I get 69 likes, I need 69 viewers to the stream. And I eventually get there with a few hundred on the VODs and stuff, but never all at once. Let's see. All those are master level. Let's see. Wait, it's meant to be small screen. That's like some DBZ level spells. It did. Yeah. Next time on Kitty Tail Z. That beard, though, yeah, I know. Everybody loves the beard, much to my wife's chagrin. Much to my chagrin in the summer, too. It doesn't scale well with the heat, that's for sure. All right. What's next on the agenda? We got another mod, kill move fixes. So this is kind of a lightweight, like non-scripted replacement for violence. Now it doesn't do nearly as much as violence does. It's pretty much just the fixes. So you can't like customize and switch and swap your different kill moves for different weapon types and when you want to do the kill moves and things like that, or what kill moves you want to do. This is more just fixing what's wrong with the kill moves. So it removes kill moves on the player, which is typically unfair. If you want like a more balanced playthrough, if you're doing permadeath or Shadow of Skyrim or something to that effect, you probably want to remove kill moves on the player. And then there's some big ones here, like fixing for the paralysis effects, breaking kill moves. So if your enemy ever falls out of your kill move because of a paralysis effect, notably like the bullseye perk, and things like that would break the kill moves with archery and things like that before. This completely fixes all of it. So this is highly recommended. If you don't want to use violence for whatever reason, maybe it's too scripted for you, it's causing, script lag, this is a good alternative for you. And I've been thinking, like, I mean, violence is good because it lets me proc kill moves on at pretty much any point, and it gives it 100% rating for, if the ground is level and all that. I don't have to wait for the last enemy restriction. It creates a more of a visceral, gory experience. Like, it just adds like a little bit to your melee gameplay. But if it is actually causing all that script lag, I might be tempted to switch back over to this, because I typically don't use violence settings all that much, Violence is still a boss, so is Heartbreaker. Yeah, I've never used Heartbreaker, but it definitely looks cool. Currently watching Dragon Ball GT right now, watching SS4 Goku fight Golden Ape Baby. Ooh. Yeah, I went into a big Dragon Ball Z phase in college, and I think I completely burnt myself out for life on anything Dragon Ball after that. I never got into the Dragon Ball GT stuff. I think I finished the Dragon Ball Z series, if I remember correctly. The last I remember is the Majin Buu stuff. Well, I'm a vampire, so you've watched all of it. Grew up with Z and GT, nice. I use ultimate combat to remove the kill moves on the player. Nice. Yeah, so it sounds like you got a lot of options. This one's just a very lightweight one. All right, and another one that popped up very recently, I just saw this last night actually, NVIDIA DLSS frame generation for community shaders. This is a really good addition to community shaders if you're not running ENB and you have a 40 or 50 series NVIDIA card. You know, get some extra frames in there. Why not? The only caveat to this that I've seen is that it doesn't seem to work with VRR, so you're not going to get a smooth experience with varying frame rates at the top level. Instead, what he wants you to do is have your frame rate, or take your frame rate -1 and then divide it by 2, and that's your stable frame rate that you want to use. So you're going to be stuck at that frame rate, but at least you're going to get a stable frame rate. Frame Gen's going to guarantee that you hit that the whole time. With my setup, I'm getting close to 165. I'm getting more than 82 on average anyway, so this doesn't really make sense to me, but it is cool technology to be able to inject into community shaders for people who have lower to mid-range 40 series or 50 series cards. Well, you know, there aren't any lower to mid-range 50 series cards at the moment, but those will come soon, I'm sure. I can swap to my 47. Yeah, it only makes sense if you're going to use frame gen. If you're not going to use frame gen, I don't think that makes sense for you. Magus. Doodlem is working on one for AMD cards too. Frame gen for AMD? I just didn't think that had the circuitry for it. AMD's pretty decent. I used to play LE on an AMD. Yeah, it's not bad. It's just if you're looking for top-end experiences, the AMD top-end cards usually kind of level out, maybe just barely beat the NVIDIA mid-range cards. But they don't really compete with the NVIDIA top-range cards, especially if you're talking about DLSS and frame generation. Those are things that are pretty much... The NVIDIA has the market cornered on. That's proprietary technology that they have. Not to say that AMD can't do it. It's just that they're not wired up for it. FSR 3, yeah, that's very new. I'm not sure that that's actually come out yet. Maybe it has. I'm not an AMD GPU owner at the moment, so I don't really keep up with it. Honestly, just run lossless if you really need it. Pure Dark has proven to be a money grab. Oh, that's the one that due to pay gates it for like minimal. Yeah, it's not as from what I understand, injecting these NVIDIA features and even the AMD features is not all that difficult, and he charges a lot of money for them. He's gotten rich off of pretty much just drag and drop functionality, which not cool. Lossless is better, more value for it. I think they do charge for lossless as well, but you get a much better package in total for that. Okay, so that was all the mods. I did have a quick community spotlight. So Falwan, I don't think he stops by the channel very often, but he does have a build channel of his own, mostly just, well, I think all just vanilla stuff. This dude did an Akuma build, Akuma, the Street Fighter character in Skyrim. And you know, I'm a big fan of the crossover builds in Skyrim, especially with fighting game characters. I did my own Scorpion build, which I had a ton of fun with. So it looks like this guy's using destruction with shock and flames. He's using unarmed, obviously, with heavy armor. Some cloaks. And of course, lots of kill moves with the unarmed stuff. You gotta have the kill moves for unarmed. Yeah, throwing fireballs and stuff. So this is cool. I haven't watched the whole thing yet, so I'm going to not spoil it for myself. But I did post the link in the description, so you can check that out if you want. You know, I always have a ton of fun with these. All right, I think that was it for all the housekeeping stuff, the intros, the promotions, the new mods, and the sort of content updates, right? Oh, look, I'm getting advertised my own stream. Awesome. At least YouTube's doing something. It's looking for Skyrim lovers like us, that's for sure. It's doing something for me, at least. $6, and for any game that supports it, easier to, yeah, much more value than the Pure Dark stuff for sure. All right, let's get into the game, huh? Go play some Triumvirate Cleric. Now, I have made a little bit of progress since the last time we left off. So last stream, I think it was the stream before last stream, we got beaten by one of the turned vigilant vampires in the Windhelm Undercity area, right? We got beaten by, it's an A name, I think it's a high elf name, one of those weird ones. Aladdin or something like that. Sounds a lot like Paladin, which is probably why it's wrong. So now we're kind of on a redemption arc for Cassius Viridius here. So he realizes now that he's got to get stronger. He's got to get stronger in battle. So he's got to get better with his heavy armor and his mace. He's got to get stronger in spirit with his destruction and his restoration spells. He's got to get better gear. And he's got to forge new alliances, because this is a big threat that he has just realized he cannot take on himself in his current form, right? Killed by a vampire, eh? That'll stick to you. Yeah, that'll stick it to you. Of course it will. Of course, you know, the next new character that comes out when I'm in a place to be able to play a new character is going to be a vampire. So we'll be on the same side then. Just keep that in mind. You want to trash talk somebody on your own team there. Yeah, for people who like the dark mage stuff, we got a vampire and a triumvirate warlock coming up next. Once I can get at least the mage. I think when I get the mage build guide out, then I'll be able to spin up the vampire, and then once I get the thief guide out, I'll be able to spin up the warlock. And I could spin them up faster, but I want to make sure that the Vigilant mod and the new version of the Beyond Reach mod that I'm working is fully tested before I move on to another character. So not only is this a Triumvirate Cleric character, but he is also a guinea pig for those new mods that I have going. Oh, what's going on with Aladdin? You got beaten by Aladdin? The Prince of Thieves himself? Yes. There's a flying carpet mod. Yeah, that would be cool. So I do watch a lot of Icarus's content, and almost all of his characters have like some kind of alternative, like superhuman travel ability, right? Like his old paladin character had those big angel wings, and he was able to just fly across Skyrim. His plague knight character had that super jump ability, like he's just jumping around Skyrim like the Hulk. The Hulk like jumps from place to place, from city to city, because he got mad hops, things like that. And it works really well for role play, and if you're a very travel heavy character, it works well. Always been curious about those mods. Okay, so this is Cassian Viridius. Who is Cassian? He is an Imperial. He is a former Imperial Legionnaire, in fact. But he became disillusioned with the Empire when they dropped Talos from the Nine. He is a worshiper of Saint Alessia, and in Wintersun, Talos is part of the Alessian pantheon. And that was officially removed as part of the White Gold Concordat, which is the treaty that ended the Great War against the elves and basically all the humans. So it was kind of a negotiation piece resource that they used to end the war, and it basically split the human factions into two. There's the Talos faction, and then the we'll get to it later faction, right? So he became disillusioned with that, broke off from the Legion, and broke off from the sort of official church that he was a part of, the Alessian Church, which had to officially drop Talos to avoid war. So he's just kind of going out as kind of like a rogue samurai cleric, trying to spread the word of Saint Alessia through deeds instead of through word of mouth, right? He's not knocking on people's door and saying, have you accepted Saint Alessia as your savior and Lord and Savior or whatever? No, he's not doing the door-to-door thing. He's doing cool things for people. And as he does that, he gains a lot of wear and tear on his face and his body. It ages him terribly. He suffers for his work. He literally bleeds, sweats, and is injured. He takes all of that on as a form of a penance for he just has a guilty conscience, like a lot of, I think, religious people do. They're beaten into them from a long age that they're terrible and they need to atone for whatever sins they may or may not have committed. So he's doing that. That's kind of what he was ingrained with, right? That's the kind of person that we're dealing with. Now, that's kind of his backstory. His build, he is an Imperial, and that's because the Triumvirate Cleric uses a lot of restoration. It uses a lot of destruction, and restoration and destruction are really well boosted at the beginning of an Imperial's lifespan in Skyrim, right? They also get boosted with one-handed for the enchanted power attacks under Triumvirate Cleric. And then also they get a boost to heavy armor. And I chose heavy armor, even though the cleric in D&D and stuff probably isn't a heavily armored class. But a lot of these spells require me to be somewhat close to my followers, so I need to be in the thick of the action. So having a higher armor rating is going to help with survivability. And to even land blows with his mace, he needs to get in close as well. And he's going to be using a lot of power attacks, and that kind of leaves him, kind of defenseless because he can't move, he can't block while he's power attacking. So that's kind of how the build is going. We are at level 27 right now, so I've advanced a few levels since the last time that he was on stream. I haven't really done anything with illusion yet. The main changes that I've made were in destruction here. I took a couple more. I took rank 2 of combustion, which as the enemy's health dwindles, our fire spells become more powerful. Reduces fire resistance, scarring burns does, for 20% for 5 seconds. That's good, especially against Dunmer. And less so against dragons who are resistant to fire. We kind of create a little bit of a chink in their armor in order to get our fire spells through. And then this is the big one so far. Fire spells ignite the ground underneath their targets for 30 seconds. The burning ground deals 8 points of damage per second for 3 seconds on contact. The reason, okay, this doesn't sound like a hugely powerful spell, but what it does do is I have Consecrated Ground hooked up to Okado's Recital, and this is a huge area of effect spell. So whenever I get into battle, it pops this huge area of effect. We do fire and sun damage for 30 seconds. And during that 30 seconds, when enemies are taking fire damage, it's actually proccing this perk. This conflagration perk, and it's going to proc a lot of these other perks where it's like it has to be under the effect of some kind of fire spell and then hit it with another fire spell. Things like corpses being ignited to cause pyres. This will proc all of that. So I'm really excited to kind of flesh out this flames spell a little bit, or this flames skill, this subtree in the destruction tree here. And the other thing that I want to synergize that with is over here in one-handed, because I do synergize a lot with power attacks. That with a mace, if you power attack, you're going to get a critical strike that deals 3 times critical damage and 4 times against undead. So the reason why this synergizes well is because with a couple of different spells here, Holy Fire. This one enchants your power attack, so you do fire and sun damage with a power attack. So I'm going to be power attacking all the time to proc this. But if I am actually casting, say, Aura of Might or Aura of Vigor, which I always am, right now I'm more concentrated on Aura of Might. Caster and living or undead allies deal 65% more attack damage. So as long as I'm holding onto this spell, it's a channeling spell, it's a concentration spell. People around me, my allies around me, are doing a lot more damage. And then when I release the spell, it does a burst of fire and sun damage. And when I do a power attack, it automatically releases that spell. So that's where the synergy comes from with the power attacks. When I power attack, all kinds of stuff is happening. And it's really just causing things to blow up, almost literally. So that's going to be like the main gameplay combo that I'm working off here. And I'm going to call it something like the Alessian Smite or something like that. We'll see. Moving on with the Triumvirate stuff, once we get high enough level, we'll be able to take higher level spells in the destruction tree, and it starts leaning into some more shock spells. So I'm going to need to figure out how to split my limited amount of perks between the fire subtree and the shock subtree. It's going to be really cool to get both effects, or be able to switch back and forth between fire for undead and shock for mage enemies to be more of like a witch hunter. So I'm excited for that. It's going to add some gameplay variability for sure. Poisons will destroy dragons too, especially slow poisons, seeing them fly so low in the air, and then those slow poisons. Yeah, those slow poisons are great. I just don't see a cleric as somebody who uses a lot of poisons unless you're doing like a dark cleric or something. Hey, James popped in. Hey, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Staying warm. Shock for dragons too. Yeah, shock would be great against dragons. Have you thought about picking up Dawnbreaker? I have a little bit. It would go with the character very well, except that it's not going to synergize with my mace stuff and the undead smite that I have. The holy and fire damage would definitely go well with the perks that I have taken, especially with the one-handed and stuff like that. But just it's Daedric, right? And that's kind of in that weird area where we've always been with Dawnbreaker, right? Dawnbreaker's like the best thing to use against undead in the game, and it always has been, other than, you know, just completely overpowered self-enchanted stuff. So it seems like it works well for paladins, but Meridia's a Daedra, so maybe like a Dunmer cleric or a Dunmer paladin. Dawnbreaker is Daedric heresy, like, yeah. It is, but there are always ways to roleplay around it. So I'm not like, it's not like a deal breaker completely, but I really do like the mace synergy that I have with the mace's subtree in one-handed, with the power attacks and the damage against undead and the crit strikes with it. So probably not going Dawnbreaker. What I'm more likely to do is give Dawnbreaker to someone like Lucian or another follower. Kind of best of both worlds there. What about offhand Dawnbreaker for killing blow to proc the explosion? Interesting. That would require offhand switching, which would require, because this is Triumvirate Cleric centric, right? This build is all about using the Triumvirate Cleric spells, so I need to have a spell usually in my offhand if I'm going to build that way. So that would require some offhand weapon switching, which would require some finagling in Sky UI with the equip sets. Which also isn't a deal breaker, but, you know, Dawnbreaker, deal breaker, right? Dawnbreaker was the centerpiece of my King Arthur playthrough. That makes sense. It's one of the more powerful, unique swords in the game. Now you just need Spellbreaker. I don't really need Spellbreaker. We're not doing block with this character because we have meat shields. We have a lot of meat shields, actually. We got a dog, we got a spirit guardian, and we have, you know, whoever not our mentor, our protege. In this case, it's Lucian. All heavily armored, except for the dog, of course. And yeah, we almost always have a spell in our left hand. I do have access to wards, though. Oh, Spellbreaker, Dawnbreaker. Okay. All right. You should use the Mega Sun spells in Ordinator. That's another thing. Those are powerful. Those are awesome to use. And I will definitely use those for both my healer and my Crusader builds. But again, that's going to take the focus away from the triumvirate spells. And that's what this build is all about, right? Not to say that I couldn't use them in certain situations. They do give a little bit of utility. Oh, where is it? Not Plague Doctor, False Light. I don't remember which one it is. it's somewhere in one of these trees. But yeah, it gives you some sun spells. There are a lot more ranged spells in that little pack that it gives you than there are in the Triumvirate Cleric stuff. But again, that kind of it kind of betrays the playstyle that Inai was going for with this class, I think. What standing stone are you using? Right now, I'm using the Warrior Stone, I think. But I think I might go to the Lord Stone once I am all leveled up. Right now, I'm just using the Warrior Stone, or maybe it's the Mage Stone to level up. Yeah, I'm using the Mage Stone to level up my spells a little faster. Yeah, once I get all my levels capped off, I think my end game stone will be the Lord Stone, because it allows you to power attack without having any stamina for like a reduced amount of damage, right? The only reason this character needs stamina is for power attacks and dodges if worse comes to worse, but we're not really a dodge. The primary means of defense for this character are his allies, his meat shields, his followers here. And then secondary form of defense is his armor, of course, and then tertiary means of defense is healing spells. The Unholy Trinity, Dawnbreaker, Spellbreaker, and Combo Breaker. There we go. We need some more Killer Instinct builds. We have a Street Fighter build, we have a Mortal Kombat build, now we need a Killer Instinct build. Technically, Spellbreaker was claimed by Periite, but originally the shield is of Dwemer creation. I think, yeah, I think Volendrung is as well. Do we know any new mods coming out? No, he did find a job to start the year, so he said that development was going to continue on the Anawana. Oh no, Cassandra. He changed it to Cassandra. The alchemy overhaul. So as far as we all know, he is working on that right now. And hopefully that's coming sooner than later, but, you know, busy professional lives leave very little time to play Skyrim, much less, you know, mod Skyrim, so we'll give him the time. But that's the next one coming out. Same goes for Volendrung, yeah. And actually, so a little fun story tidbit about Volendrung. Hammerfell is named after Volendrung. There was a Dwemer chieftain who tossed it as far as he could to find the new home for his tribe or for his people, and Hammerfell is where it's landed, and that's what it's named after. That's where the hammer fell. Hammerfell was originally a Dwemer kingdom called Volenfell in Dwemeris. Yeah, there you go. The hammer that fell. Yeah, Hammerfall. There you go. Okay, at least he gave an update. If he has a job, it's more necessary than helping the community. Absolutely. So yeah, that was supposed to come out like in November or something like that, and he just, you know, he gets busy. That guy puts a lot of pressure on himself to appease the community, so I'm not going to to add to that pressure, right? It's going to be done when it's going to be done. In the meantime, I have almost an infinite amount of builds to play in Skyrim. There are so many ideas that I have. I just haven't had the time to do them all. So I'm not running out of things to do in Skyrim in the meantime. It's fine. All right, so where are we going here? We are on our way to Ingol Barrow, and this is where the Forge Master's fingers have procced. And the reason we're going after Forge Master fingers right now is to earn favor with the orcs, so we get access to Narzlbur and their plentiful ebony mine in there. So we really need some ebony ingots. There's a cool suit of armor, of heavy plated armor, that I want to change out into. I have the perks for it. It takes the, oh, excuse me. It takes the steel perks to craft and to hone, but it takes ebony material to get it. It's the Dark Knight armor, not Batman. It's just a Dark Knight armor set. And it's really cool looking, and I want to see how well it looks on this character. How well it works with him.
Any thoughts on stopping for lunch?
I mean, you can eat if you'd like to, but I'm good for now, Lucian. Please make it a walking lunch, though. We have things to do. It is not early in the morning. Oh, we got a bear. We need to put our helmet back on, get Marauder out. Gotta change that name. Marauder is not a good name for a... Really? We're just gonna hang out with a snow bear here? Don't at me, bro. Oh, I know what this is. This is the Shadow of Skyrim perk that we got for killing a nemesis. We will randomly attract predatory animals that will come and aid us. Not ate us, A-T-E. They will come aid us, A-I-D. Man, that was scary seeing that guy run up there, though. So yeah, we have our Alessian charisma has attracted the favor of a giant snow bear. I like it. Piner, welcome in, buddy. Haven't seen your name in a while. I heard a build with only alteration and restoration is viable, even with tough combat. False light perk, apparently. Do you know of or have you thought about a build like that? Yes. False light is very powerful. In fact, restoration probably is the only skill you need in the game. You can play it viably at legendary difficulty. I think Magus knows a little bit more about that because restoration synergizes really well with vampirism, actually. But if you're playing more of a paladin type character, it's probably not going to be as strong as a vampire character wielding restoration, but still quite strong. Just instead of risen or summoned followers, it's probably more alive followers. More so with necromancy than anything else. Okay. It's definitely viable, especially if you're using alchemy to boost your restoration levels and your restoration spell amplitude. False light can be very powerful because it both heals you. Like if you could use, so you can have something like, let's see, what is the non-channeling restoration spell? There's like fast healing, and I think there's like grand healing is the expert level one. You can have that in your right hand. You can have something like channel energies, no, radiate energies. What kind of spell is radiate energy? I don't have it for this character yet. I have it on my mage character though. There's a spell called radiate energies that I think Odin adds in. It is a restoration spell as well. Cast the beneficial self-targeted spell in the caster's left hand on all allies in the area. So anybody who's allied in the same faction as you, it's going to cast that kind of area of effect healing spell on them. And so while they're in melee combat with an enemy, they're going to heal up quite a bit, and they're also going to damage enemies. So this is extremely powerful. So yeah, radiate energy and whatever that area of effect healing spell is. I mean, you don't even need alchemy for the false light combo. Hell, even Carrion Wind takes out 95% of the air. Okay. Nice. So yeah, there's a dark path and a light path. The dark path seems more powerful. The light path is still viable. Ooh, we got some wonkiness with our cape here. There we go. In fact, we should probably remove the cape now that we're out of the elements. Okay, we got the little bouncing sprites. And we got Draugr. That's right up our alley. That's right up our alley. hell? Oh, that was a skeever. I thought it was ghosts. That's the spirit guardian. Okay, it's been a little while since I played this character. It's gonna take some getting used to. Yeah, this is the consecrated ground spell, and you could tell how it just completely ignited everything in the area. That's awesome. Now, I do need... Oh, that's a little tiny skeever there. Look at that thing. I do need the pelts, because I still need to level up blacksmithing. Or smithing, I guess. Oh, picking up more bouncy little glowy followers here. I find it a very annoying dungeon. It's not the puzzles or the combat, just find it annoying. This one here? Well, there's a lot of very constricted corridors and stuff like that, right? It's very tight. If you're claustrophobic at all, this one might set you off a little bit. It's also a little bit nuanced with the sprites bouncing around and everything. I don't find it annoying. I find it unique. It's light on the tactics, light on the action, and more just kind of a dungeon exploration, I guess. Unless you're this guy, who just really couldn't figure out these riddles. Okay, let's see here. Man in his throne, so should he be. Whale in the sea, so should he be. Eagle in the sun sky, so should he be. Snake in the weeds, so should he be. Okay. So this one should be eagle, because that's where the sky is coming through. And these are the weeds, so the snake here. This one's the water, so this is where the whale goes, and then this is where the dude goes. Oh, we need skulls, too. The Dark Knight armor requires ebony ingots and skulls, so we need to collect skulls as we find them.
Why, yes, my lad, it was. Didn't get brutally murdered once.
Okay, we're good. We are good. I like to find a home as early as possible just to unload my books regularly. Yeah, I do the same thing.
If we die here, do you think we stay dead? Perhaps best not to think about it.
I will not let that happen to you, Lucian. Focus on the task at hand, not of the potential repercussions. Yeah, so I have Ryek's End. It's probably my favorite player home mod. It's just out of the way. I like how kind of minimalistic it is, but also how it includes everything that's needed. And it's available to you in a very central location at the very beginning of the game, but because it's available for free at the very beginning of the game, it gives you access to everything you need. It kind of feels a little cheaty sometimes, so I try not to use it very often, but sometimes I just, you know, think to hell with it and just use it anyway. You're planning to use enchanting on this character. I'll use enchanting. I'm not going to perk into it. And a big reason for that is, well, I only have 50 perks to go around because these are all level 50 build challenges. You have to cut off the amount of perks somewhere. Otherwise, every character is going to be a godly, you know, do-it-all character, right? There's no kind of specialty. There's no specialization, and therefore synergies aren't special. So 50 perks, I got to spread them out however I can. I also try to stick to the classic classes and burst signs model, where it allows you 6 skills to spec into. And enchanting just wasn't one of them. I picked smithing for my crafting skill for this, because it would give me access to build all the armors that I wanted to wear in this game, for aesthetic purposes mostly, but also it'll give me the top end damage on my mace. And because of the way that the Triumvirate enchantment spells work, like Holy Fire here, and there's another one coming up at expert level as well, for shock damage type, your weapon needs to be unenchanted. So I decided to go for top end physical damage with smithing rather than enchanting something that would just conflict with the triumvirate spell anyway.
Yes, boss?
No, I'm okay. I'm just trying to get that
Just carefully, all right?
hanging moss there. Okay, we got a door over here. Let's just see what we have down this way. Might be thinking of another cave, but I thought that there was like a greatsword, a leveled greatsword stuck in the ice down here somewhere. Could be mistaken. No more skulls anywhere. Hanging moss, yes please. Somebody asked about using potions to boost your skills. Yes, I will do that. Probably going to go with ultimate healing potions and magicka potions for the most part, but especially early in the game before I get everything leveled up properly and before I have out of lockpicks. Jesus. All right. Well, that's sad. Before I have all my synergy. Oh yeah, here's that leveled greatsword I was talking about. Ceremonial greatsword. That's very heavy, but you know what? I'll take it anyway. And the snowberries. Before I have all my perks and synergies worked up and fleshed out, and before I have all my skills topped off, I'm going to be at a little bit of a power deficit, especially trying to get through the Vigilant quest line and how hard that stuff is. So using, even without perks, potions to boost things like Restoration, Destruction, One-Handed, even Heavy Armor before I get to the cap is going to be very useful. I am not too worried about any of the non-modded content. Maybe the CC stuff that was added in through the paid AE upgrade. That stuff is unleveled and it can be really hard at lower levels. Might have some trouble with some of that, but we're kind of at the level now where even that probably isn't too much of a concern. It's more Vigilant and Beyond Reach that I'm worried about at this point, so I want to make sure I'm all fleshed out enough, the build is strong enough to take that stuff on so I can actually properly test it all. Okay. We did get the Coral Dragon Claw from Berna and Winterhold. So this is kind of a two birds, one stone dungeon dive here. We have Snake, Wolf, and that's not a dragonfly because it's only got the one set of wings. But it's a bug. It's more like a moth. Doesn't even really look like a moth either. I don't know what the hell that thing is. Tom, welcome, buddy. Kind of looks like Guts' sword from early on in Berserk. It sure does. You could kind of make it work for the Buster Sword in Final Fantasy 17 if you're trying to do a cloud build too. You could probably find a better modded blade for that though. Things like crafting stations are everywhere and convenient. Horses handle storage early game. It does, but I kind of have that modder's guilt of like, okay, people in the vanilla game can't do this. Yeah, but these modded builds aren't really vanilla friendly anyway. Get in there, guys. What are you doing? Just standing here getting pelted with frost shouts? Oh shit. Just standing in that frost wall, I guess. There you go. Oh shit. I got disarmed somehow. My hotkey wasn't working either. I don't think any of my hotkeys are working. Oh no, they're good.
This time.
Yeah, the one kind of drawback of this playstyle is that these aura spells take forever to fire up. There's a very slow casting time on these. So not quite as fast-paced. Why is my hotkey for Marauder not working? Yeah, I need to rename that mace. Gamepad plus plus. Oh, because it's set to 1. What the hell else is set to 2? That's healing potion. Damn it. That's why none of that was working. There we go. Okay, we're good. Dwarven battle axe, too heavy. Rogue Imperial armor, too heavy. We got the Forge Master's fingers there for Mahulak. Helm of Ingol. Ooh, can I get that skull? I want that skull. Guess not. Alright, any other loot? We definitely also need skulls. We'll take the linen wraps because we can craft some capes with that. Any other skulls laying around? Would make me very happy. What are you going to name it? I was thinking something like the Alessian Star. Oh, I also gave Lucian the Vagrant armor. He was wearing the armor, the iron plate armor before. This stuff had much higher armor rating, and we took this off of the dude who attacked us outside of Stendarr's Beacon and kind of slaughtered that whole place. So it looks pretty cool on him. I like it. Doesn't really match his personality much. But none of the armors in the game really do, I suppose. Maybe the boiled mud crab stuff for comic effect. Oh, everybody's getting motion sick now. Spiral staircases in this game, they always make me queasy. Marauder, barely even knew her. There you go. Man after my own heart there. Yep, we saw Tom sneak in like a sneaky Khajiit. Day is going well, just ate some enchiladas with salad. There you go. That sounds amazing, actually. Is that our bear friend, or is that a non-friendly bear? Are you going to fight us? You gonna try to eat us? Or are we buddies? No. Well, there's a... We're looking at the bear. Clever girl.
Take this and hold on.
Oh my god, now is not the time, doofus. Oh yeah, the bear is definitely helping us. Nice. Man, Shadow of Skyrim, when it works, it's really cool. It gives you kind of incentive to crank up your difficulty as high as it'll go, and if you have Wildcat, you can crank it up even harder than vanilla. Just for the off chance that you might die and be able to redeem yourself, it gives you something to chase in the end game, because there's more power that you can add on to your character through like passive abilities and rewards for killing your nemesis. I got a few of them on my warrior character now too.
Ragnar, my old friend, I've come to take your head.
Just kind of makes death mean something. Not necessarily being a good thing, but it gives you, you know, something to do, something to chase in the late game. It makes death a part of your game a little more than just, you know, something that you reload a save for. And there are other death alternative mods now that might work a little better, but maybe not as cool, you know? All right, so we have Forge Master's fingers now. We fought Ingol himself. We got that unique helmet. I thought there was like a word wall somewhere in here too, but I must have been mistaken on that because it's not a very big dungeon. Not a lot of space to hide a word wall that kind of yells at you when you get close to it, so... Suppose that was it, huh? Frost Troll was the real hero. He was beefy. He was indeed. He was kind of sneaky, too. This crazy bastard over here just, like, yelling at the mountainside. Alright. He probably doesn't like my bear. Who doesn't like the bear? He's a good boy. I mean, he did kill that Horker, though, and that Horker wasn't really doing much. He just got pissed and killed a Horker. Okay, so now we're headed back to Narzlbur. We'll get access to the stronghold there. Oh, we got a dead fox over here, it looks like. We'll take his pelt and his ingredients. Don't let his death go to waste. So, Narzlbur is here in the foothills of the Velothi Mountains. Or not even the foothills, it's pretty much just on the face of the mountain there. The best way I know how to get to it is through Kynes Grove. You just kind of go up where the Dragon Mound is, where you fight... now I'm blanking on the dragon's name, but it's the one that... it's the first one that you see Alduin resurrecting with Delphine. And then you kind of just go past that into the mountains here, and then you will eventually run into the stronghold. And that's where the Ebony Mine is. That's where we'll be going. Mace named after a star, wielded by someone wronged by a vampire. Sounds very familiar. Does it? Am I tapping into my self-conscious here to find something from popular culture that has infiltrated my my psyche? I hate these fugitive interactions. They show up at the most inconvenient times. Yeah, they do. Kind of with the same lines as the courier, right? You put somebody as derpy and dopey as Vander in there, and I'm going the wrong way here. And it kind of turns it comical, but yeah, they're just very poorly timed. How am I doing on encumbrance? I'm getting pretty close. Lucy and Funny in the background, happy smile friend. Man, we got quite the entourage here. This Shadow of Skyrim perk is really quite fortunate for us. The Snow Bear is a very powerful ally at most levels up into the mid game, right? Because they're very tanky. They got a lot of health. They got some damage reduction in the form of armor, I believe, and they do a fair amount of damage. They also move really fast. And all of my restoration spells, the spells that I have that buff my allies from the Triumvirate Cleric set, will be applied to him as well. So that's all good. Snow bears are so strong. Actually, ice wolves are very strong too. They're like deceptively strong, even at like mid-game. You've watched them take on dragons? That's crazy. Karn finds a dead raccoon on the side of the road and prepares his trusty skinning knife. Can't let his death go to waste, indeed. All of Nirn's creatures under the watchful eye of Saint Alessia serve a purpose, dead or alive. Shadow of Skyrim, Wildcat, Precision, mods that make real difficulty scaling, unlike what Todd was doing with his health and damage slider BS. Yeah, that's kind of the worst way. I mean, it's not just Todd and BGS, right? It's pretty much how most video game developers handle difficulty because, oh crap, I got LOD issues. That means I can't quick save. I'm gonna freeze up here. Yep. I don't remember the last time I saved. Ice wolves too, especially if there's more than 2 of them. Yeah. It's like you just see them running at you and you're like, oh, that's a wolf. And then they get closer, like, wow, that's a really big wolf. And then you see that it's white and you're like, oh, okay, I might actually die here. Been there a few times during permadeath playthroughs. This character becoming a bear master now has a reason to become a werebear. Interesting. I honestly don't think he'll need it. I think these synergies that I'm working my way through in the moment will pan out pretty strongly in the end game, but we'll see. I mean, with the transformation stuff, there's not really any reason not to do that, besides like roleplay reasons, right? Especially with the werebear and werewolf stuff, though, it hamstrings your progression, your skill progression. So you probably, if you're trying to build a character more quickly, you probably don't want to take on lycanthropy because you can't get restful sleep. Not that I always, you know, take advantage of that when I can, but still, it helps. Snow fox, very harder to kill. For some, they take 3 arrows. Yeah, they have more HP for sure. Oh my god. Hey, where's my bear friend at? Oh, there he is. Hopefully he's still a friend. Let's not get ambushed by this damn frost troll again. Oh, they're all helping my bear. Okay. Here we go. Get in there, furry friend. Boom. And boom goes the dynamite. Alright, maybe the reason why we froze up was because I didn't have my cool-ass cloak on. It does have some clipping with the fur on the shoulder pieces, but in the right light, it kind of blends okay, I guess. It looks good if you don't look at it. And now we don't have to deal with the fugitive either. Which is nice, I guess. Although he probably gave me an enchanted weapon or something that I missed. Quick save. Does werebear build interest you? What would really be the difference between that and werewolf? There is different perks. No, there's no difference. I think technically it's all just an aesthetic thing. So anything that would apply to the OP werewolf build that I did would apply to the werebear build as well. I'm sure there are mods and stuff that you could do to create some kind of distinction between the two. But I don't know what those mods are or what the distinctions would actually be. Oh, we got an assassin, huh? Man, I love that replacer. We're trying to kill a Dunmer with fire. This would be nice to have the shock enchantments at this point. We knocked his head off with our Star of Alessia, or our Alessian Star. Safe save system. Yeah, people get dogmatic about their saves. I've never had a problem. I've never had a problem with my saves. I've had problems with script leaks and stuff like that, but that wasn't a problem with like quick saving or anything. Oh, you're talking about like death loops and stuff? I stagger my saves enough so that I can go back before too long. I don't know. I guess if and when I do have a problem with it, I'll make a change at some point, but it's never done me wrong, so I'm not going to change anything. With SSSO, one does not have to remember to save. Okay. That's fair. But then do you get just like random intervals of like just hitches because your game is saving automatically for you? Is that my bear or is that a bear? It's my bear chasing a rabbit. Did you get him? I'm not smelling any dead things around here. All right. You punched the highlights out of his hair. Yeah, I did. Like that damn Smash Mouth singer. Or Guy Fieri. Same guy. I have that replacer to look good like the DB armor from Oblivion. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a good one too. Think the rabbit climbed the tree? Oh, he might have, yeah. They do that. They do that sometimes. I uploaded a short actually of a rabbit climbing a tree and then like just jumping to his death. He climbed the tree and then when he got to the top of the tree, he just kept going and fell to the ground and just died instantly. I don't know why that's so funny to me. It shouldn't be, but it is. The game pauses during a save, but that will never happen when in combat, swimming, riding a horse, etc. Okay. Good to know, good to know. I have to look into it, but then again, I mean even that wasn't too bad. Just from here to here would have saved me 2-3 minutes maybe. Having a save somewhere over here. And I can already see the LODs popping in over here, so we should be good. Yeah. So back to Kynes Grove. Okay, this is going to be telling. The area right outside Windhelm here has a lot of issues. Not just in my load order that I'm running now, but in previous load orders too. I'd get like a lot of crash to desktop here, a lot of freezes. And this seems to be the most troublesome spot for that LOD issue, where it just doesn't seem like the close-in cell loads up like it should. And I'm getting like LODs close up and then I can't save or do anything or leave the cell or anything. Seems to be more prevalent right here in this spot. For whatever reason. Sometimes I just have to fast travel around it and it works itself out. Suicide Bunny sounds like a chick metal band. Yeah, I'd listen to that. The game pauses during a save. Okay, we saw that one. It would have done a save where you came out of the cave, much like you may have done. Oh, no, that was just a regular autosave, vanilla autosave. It loads, or it saves when you load into a new area. That's how the vanilla game works. I think there's a random Rammstein song that is called Bunnies. Oh, interesting. Aren't all Rammstein songs random? Coworker is a real big fan of Rammstein, which I find hilarious because I always found them kind of like a joke band, which I guess they kind of are, right? They're not really meant to be taken seriously, but apparently they put on really good shows. They just go all out with the live production. Oh, I need a caffeine bump, I think. What time is it? 12:10, so we got another 2 hours left, give or take. All right, I'm going to take a real quick break. I'm going to get some more caffeine, refresh my beverage, and I'll be back very shortly. All right, I'm back. That was quick, huh? Been going cold turkey on the caffeine as of late. Feeling pretty good. Yeah, I have to do that every once in a while. I've been really moderating the caffeine lately anyway. I've been trying the microdosing technique where you just have a little bit of caffeine throughout the day. So I still drink my monsters, but I spread them out over like a 4-hour period. And that has worked really well for me. Let's see. I get the heightened focus. I get a little more energy. I get to stave off the sleepiness just a little bit. And I don't get the crash from it. Been listening to a lot of Christian life metal. Okay. Some of the most brutal metal I've listened to, ironically enough. Interesting. It's called Goreship. Most of the members of the, I'm guessing Rammstein, are pyro trained, trained after an accident that caused serious injuries to them. Yeah, same thing happened to Metallica back in the day, right? James Hetfield got popped with a pyrotechnic. Fortunately, he made a recovery, but he was kind of sketchy whether or not he was even be able to play guitar again after that, but he did. Obviously. Oh, Michael Jackson happened too. Oh, I like how that's the order of that. Christianity is more brutal than people give it credit for, and Michael Jackson is also more brutal than people give it credit for. All right, let's. I don't mind talking about religion in the game, but we're probably best to avoid it. IRL religion in chat. That's one of the rules of the channel. We're not going there. It's just it becomes too contentious, too fast. Gets too real, you know. Just talking about music. Oh yeah, no. Mentioning Christian metal is fine. Talking about Christianity being brutal. Now we're getting into. Everybody here is handling it well. I really want to nip shit in the bud. People be on edge, you know. All right. Okay, we're able to tank some of these hits here. Just regular wolves. Those aren't ice wolves. Ooh, we got to level up too. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, even regular wolves, if your armor rating is up to snuff, you can pretty much just stand in the middle of them on legendary difficulty. Oh, hey, Miko. I could actually pack him up with stuff too if I needed.
I love snow. It's so snowy.
Well, yeah, especially on this version of my mod list where snow isn't completely blinding. We can enjoy the weather when it happens. We don't have to either wait through it or cheat with a scroll of control weather. I have steaks thawing. That'll be good later tonight. Oh man, I love a good steak. Actually, the wife and I have a gift certificate to Paul Martin's that I don't know if we got it for a Christmas present or if it was like an anniversary gift or something, but it's just kind of sitting in our drawer, and every time we look through our gift cards we see it and we're like, oh man, go get a steak and some butter cake. We just haven't had a free weekend for it for a while. But that's something we need to do soon. Love a good steak. All right, I'm sitting here creeping up on here like we have something to worry about from these orcs. Seen highly suspect last Tuesday in Knoxville. Second time seeing them, once in Vegas now. Highly suspect. Is that a metal band? Progressive rock band, jam band, kind of. Oh, okay.
You have returned with the gauntlets. Enter. Speak to our chief right away.
Will do. Actually, let's Not enter under false pretenses. We'll take the helm off.
He's been spending a lot of time at the graves again. Good.
Where
The more
is the
time he
chief?
finds for the dead wives, the less time he spends finding a new one. Be
Is he
careful.
inside maybe because it's
Spirits
snowing?
Speak to the living.
Oh, here we go.
Strong
He was
connection.
kind of camouflaged
He never
there.
had a connection
Chief
with any of them
Mahulak.
beyond what his
I don't
loins
believe
told
it.
him.
You found the Forge Master's fingers.
He did?
You've impressed me, Outlander. No one else has returned from this task before. By the code of Malakath, I name you bloodkin to the orcs. Let it be known among the strongholds that you are family now.
Might like the song Lydia. Check him out. Okay. Lydia, highly suspect. I'm going to actually write that down. I've been in a weird place with music lately. Usually don't listen to it for entertainment anymore. I just don't have the time to sit down and listen to music, and I've never been a live music kind of guy. Let's see. I am honored.
Feel free to trade with our smiths for orc weapons and armor. Train with my warriors, or purchase poisons from the wise woman. Welcome to our stronghold, bloodkin.
The music that I have been listening to is, I've been listening to a lot of the live streams on Chill Music Lab. Let's see here. And it's kind of just like a lot of synthwave stuff, which, you know, if I'm going to sit down and listen to music, it's not like the type of music that is like my type of music. But I do find that if I'm like working and trying to like really focus and stuff, this does help a lot. If I'm working on something else, I need background music. It does actually work quite a bit. And it's all free. They're live streaming all the time, and they have, you know, playlists and stuff full of stuff. It's all like, I don't know if it's copyright free. They might have some kind of licensing on it, but yeah, if I'm like writing a script or working on a video or something that, you know, doesn't have background tracks yet, because listening to two songs at once kind of is a great cause of insanity. Yeah, this works really well. But yeah, I was more of a metal skid growing up when I discovered music. It was like, it was a lot of Metallica, Megadeth, and then when I started going down a little more of the hardcore stuff just to get the blood pumping a little bit more, started looking into like Pantera, Zakk Wylde. Synthwave is good. I like that cyberpunk style of music, dark 80s synthwave. Yeah, there you go. That's the good stuff. It's very good for ambiance, I think. Much better if you're not actively listening to it. Although it's fine too for that if you're really into it. But yeah, like I said, it's more background music for me. It does help me focus. Something about the quality of the music. And say what you want about Korn, but they kind of had the same thing. The buzz of the distorted harmony that they had really helped me focus for doing like homework and stuff like that. And Evanescence was the same way too. They had the same like distorted quality. All right, so we are here in Narzlbur. That was goal number 1. Let's go get some ebony ore here, and then we'll turn that into ingots and we'll craft some more armor. We did get 1 skull. Do we have any more skulls on the graves over here? The nightshade. Make potions of destruction out of that. Maybe I'll visit the Hall of the Dead in Windhelm too, see if there's any skulls that I can pick up there. Brutal death metal though. Love the heave breakdowns. Harmonizing guitar. The thing is, it's not passive listening, right? You're not gonna. Well, I guess it depends on the work that you're going to get done. But if you're doing like highly intricate like programming work or like math homework or something, that's probably not going to suit your needs too well. But if you're working out, doing physical work and stuff, yeah, that'll get you going. Korn is good. I like them. Tool, A Perfect Circle, Deftones, Chevelle. Yeah, Tool is good for background ambiance. A Perfect Circle probably even a little bit better. That's where you get the progressive stuff, right? Very long songs that are very conceptual. Moonwalker, never enjoy one song about the Italian plumber if you get my... I don't get it. Are you talking about Mario? I remember the Moonwalker video game. Oh, there's like a lot of gases and stuff down here. It's probably not safe to breathe. God, stealing that Evan. I thought I had favor with the tribes here. They'll let me mine it, but they won't let me just take the ore, I guess. Michael, someone needs to make this orc chieftain a throne so he doesn't look like he's sitting in a folding chair at an outdoor wedding. Yeah, right? Or like he's trying to sell homemade bracelets at a flea market. Oh, he's already on that one. This might be where suggestion comes in handy. Welcome, by the way, Michael. I haven't seen your name pop up today, so hope you're doing well. There you go. Want a modder to make him a folding chair. Create an outdoor wedding around him. Yes, indeed. So I switch around my controller. I use sneak as the right bumper, and I use jump as the A button. Okay. That probably jibes a little better with other games, too. Skyrim's very... Well, all BGS games kind of always had the jump button on the Y button, or I guess the top button. The triangle button on a PlayStation. And like if I used to play like a lot of Oblivion, and then I would play a lot of Halo with my friends, and it would always fuck me up going from one game to the other. It's like I would be trying to jump in Halo, and then I'd be like doing freaking weapon switching or something, and I'm like, no, it's wrong. I would die over and over again just because I was hitting the wrong buttons. But you can get them to attend your own wedding at the Temple of Mara. Yeah, maybe. Okay, we're getting kind of overloaded here. We might have to give some of this to Lucian.
Good to see you.
Hi there. Okay, Lucian, I think is explicitly scripted not to be affected by the Nether's follower framework, so he doesn't have the extra inventory that we're used to having with other followers. So you just have to do the vanilla trade thing with him, which sucks because if you give him weapons and armor that you don't want him using, he'll just use them if he thinks they're better. So as with most vanilla followers, it's best to give them like crafting materials and stuff and save the weapons and armor for yourself. Any kill recommendations for the Ebony Blade? Shit. Well, if you have like mods that add favorability and make friends with people, and Nazim's kind of the obvious choice, right?
I'll spend years in the caves.
I don't know. I would be interested to see who you all use. I'll usually like pick up just like a Stenvar or Belrand or someone, a low level hireling. because it makes sense for gameplay reasons, but for roleplay reasons, people who you can actually take as a follower and become friendly with, it's a little harder because, yeah, all right. Don't use the ritual stone exploit. Usually kill all the Housecarls except Lydia. Yeah, the Housecarls though, they do become underleveled if you're not running some kind of follower overhaul that levels them up along with you, which I am running. So gameplay wise, the Housecarls do become underleveled, but whenever you get a new one, they do level pretty highly. I think they max out at like level 40 or something like that, which is pretty good for a follower in the vanilla game. So the Housecarls are actually pretty good followers, but they do become outdated. Housecarls level to 50, okay. I think it's the Dark Brotherhood initiates that are the highest level and arguably strongest vanilla followers in the game. Weirdly enough. Assassin should be like solo play. But they get the strongest followers somehow. Yeah, but Housecarls are really good. So I wouldn't waste them if they're at your level. DB initiates level to 100, but there are some with no level cap. Which ones don't have a level cap? Just never use followers. That's probably the best tactic. I mean, yeah, followers are dumb as hell. They're clunky. They're hard to manage. But they're very, very strong on high difficulty levels because they get all the same damage output buffs that your enemies get. So especially at early levels, they're much stronger than you are. And they're much more survivable than... Oh, this is just an iron ore vein. Whatever. We'll take it. Freya from Solstheim. Can you just take her on as a regular follower? I seem to remember not having access to her after a certain point in that quest line. Very much could be mistaken, but I didn't know that she could just follow you as a regular follower. The greatest companion I've ever had was Reekling Scout. There you go. That's the right answer. Highest character level 65, but I really hit that mark with my characters. Rarely hit that mark with my characters. Yeah, lately I'm kind of in the same boat, James, just because of content creation. I need to move on to the next character after I hit level 50 with one of them. Because I need to do the build guide, and then I need to get out another build guide after that. But more recently, I've been wanting to do like a revisitation of certain builds. So before I get rid of my Steger profile in MO2, I want to level him up. I've got him up to like level 73 or 74 now, and I kind of want to show off some gameplay of him using all those expanded perks and stuff. And I've started working on that already. So once I get kind of that out and maybe like a 50 plus build guide for the Shaman Assassin, I can delete that profile, free up some space for a new one. Yeah, you can get a Reekling follower. I think that's you have to side against the mead hall, the sort of poor man's companions in Solstheim. You have to side with the Reeklings, I think, to get that one, don't you? Or am I thinking of something else? There's also the Goblin follower too. That's based off of the same framework as the Reekling follower in the Goblin CC that you get from the paid AE upgrade. It's a pretty cool little follower as well. Thirsk, that's the one, yeah. First time this one has got to level 104 and still has a lot of quests to start or complete. Are you using... That's a very high level. And obviously you can get there if you power level. It just takes some time. But if you're leveling organically, that's a lot of questing. A lot of roleplay. Are you using like added like quest mods and stuff? Like new lands mods and stuff, Tom? Just curious. That's a really high level to play organically in roleplay. I think I got my Reekling after freeing him from one of the pillars. Oh, crap. Oh, that scared the shit out of me. All right. Where the hell am I now? Can't jump. Lucian.
What's on your mind? Oh, please, give me all the good stuff.
$940 hours with Lexi's mod list that adds other stuff like LOT. Okay, that's right. I do remember you on Lexi's, and she does add a ton of stuff to her list. That's right. That's right. Well, that was unexpected. Yeah, and this isn't the first time I've been in this, but I usually don't make it a habit to come here because usually once I am in need of ebony, it's pretty plentiful at all of the smithing vendors. So I rarely have need to come here, but yeah, I definitely forgot about that that spot on the floor. Think you have to marry Freya? I don't even remember Freya being marryable. There's a lot more going on with Freya than I thought. I thought she wasn't even really a follower. I didn't think she was marryable, and I didn't think she was a follower. Maybe a mod? Or maybe I'm just completely mistaken. I guess there's a chance that I just completely missed all that. Because she is a cool character. I like Freya a lot. And I think she's one of the few followers in the game. It's hard to say it's vanilla because it's definitely the DLC that's causing it. Iron.
Gadba and me came to work the mine. The plan is to get rich and then go back to Lagerspur and take over.
That's the plan, huh?
Mahulak brought us in when he
My own
found
Requiem
everything in
setup
the mine.
again.
Not
It's
enough
finished.
men in
Oh,
town
nice.
to work it. So here
Yeah,
we
you're saying
are.
at the beginning of the stream that's pretty much all ready to go. Going Requiem again, huh? I really got to try out Requiem at some point. Okay, did I get everything here? Let's do another quick run through to make sure I got all of the ebony veins at least. I have a feeling there's one or two that I missed. I should start taking Major Slack style notes. Checking on them. Make sure I got all the ebony that I was supposed to get in the little dungeon dive here. And then he would check his notes and he'd be like, well, I'm missing 3 dragon tongue. And then he would kind of, you could hear him like scratch his beard a little bit, wondering if it's worth it to go back. And he's like, well, whatever, it doesn't matter. It'll be fine. It's like, why even take the notes if you're just not even going to follow him anyway? $1,306 mods and around 810 plugins. Damn. 1.6, 1170 and non-AE. Okay. Oh, geez. Lore rim. Man, that's bloated. Cool, but bloated. The thing is, people who play Lore Rim have been playing it for a long time. Okay, let's see if I can... Command followers. Suggestion. Okay, this might be the only use I can think of for this damn spell.
Show me. Then that is my task.
Here we go.
We done?
Yeah, so that's what I was saying, is people who play Lore Rim now have been playing Lore Rim for years, so it's like they're not learning it all at once. They're learning the new stuff that Biggie added in the newer version after playing the previous version for months and months at a time. It's a daunting task for a new player for sure. And there is a 3.1 update now, which supposedly fixes a lot of the bugs and cleans some things up. So he is still working on it. I'm kind of doubtful whether we'll ever see a 4.0, but I wouldn't mind him just stopping with the new content and just fixing and optimizing what's there. Might entice me to rejoin at some point. It is interesting. It is an interesting take on the game. He changes so much that it's almost a new game for, especially for players who aren't familiar with Requiem. But I kind of want to do, as Magus suggested, a kind of a custom Requiem list. A little more minimalist than what Biggie's got going on with Lore Rim, so I can learn the basics of how to play Requiem before I go on with the full damn change everything in the whole world mod list like that. Ah, shit. Okay, I'm going the wrong way. Here we go. Okay, now we got a good amount of ebony ore. Let's head back to Ryek's End and see what else we can craft. We do need some more skulls, though. I don't know. Wow, I'm really off-center in here. I'm off-center on this camera, even though I'm sitting right in front of my screen. I am not off-center in this camera. If I'm even on that camera. There we go. Yeah, maybe a little bit. If I scoot in. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I did change my start screens to be like more like a slideshow of the different character art that I had generated. So this is the start screen. Usually it would have like the starting in whatever up in the corner. But yeah, it's more of a fading slideshow. I think I got the timing right on it. Looks pretty good. And then the BRB kind of does the same slideshow, but it does the be right back stuff instead of the starting soon stuff. I noticed that PowerPoint of AI art. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's just a little bit more engaging for people who are waiting for me to come back. Woo. All right. Well, got a little crazy there. Let's see here. The only Solstheim extension is near Ban Mahler. I use graphical setup of Lore Rim with changes, and of course, as my laptop is not a beast, and instead of Requiem, I went with Vocrinator. Okay, well, yeah, more options with Vocrinator for sure. Is there a Lore Rim like mod list based on Ordinator? I'll be building a new PC this year. Not really. I think most mod lists end up going with either Requiem or Simon Rim. Simon Rim because a lot of, well, both of these are more compatible with like the MCO weapon movesets. May as well take the Orichalcum while we're here too. Ordinator, not so much because of its directional power attacks and different behaviors and triggers that it uses for some of its effects. And not to say you couldn't use it, it's just it makes some of the perks useless, right? So I have not seen an Ordinator based one. Yeah, Ordinator is not compatible with Requiem. So you have to pick either Ordinator or Requiem. Same with the Simon Rim stuff, although, you know, Vocrinator, I think, does add in some of the Simon Rim stuff, too. Or at least you can, like, Vocrinator Black and some of the different other flavors of Vocrinator has some of the Simon Rim stuff in it, too. But basically, you choose either Simon Rim, an Rim with Ordinator, or Requiem. And I have chosen Ordinator for the foreseeable future. I dabbled a little bit with Requiem with Lore Rim. I realized there was a lot more to learn there than I had time for. But I wouldn't mind getting back to it at some point when my my Rim well has run dry. When you go into first person, what's that at the bottom of your screen? That is the armor. That's the neck protector from the armor here. I don't know if I like it or not. It's kind of immersive, Kind of cool looking, but then it also kind of blocks the screen a little bit. You see that every once in a while with some armor pieces. More prevalent with this one because it does have that neck protector just kind of right up in your face. Not a lot of armor pieces have that, and I think the armor pieces that do, the mod author tends to just not show it in first-person view. Things like all good, all geared up, if you have the bow set to be kind of like twisted, angled, so that it's hanging over your character's shoulder, you can see that in first-person view too.
Hey, this snowflake's shaped like your... Oh, no, it's melted.
Hey. You should not be looking at my no. All right. So there is a carriage stop right up here. It's a modded carriage stop, but it's a carriage stop. Ooh, actually. Yeah, we'll just do everything at Ryx. I saw the smelter there and I was like, let's make some ingots while we're here. But we'll do everything in one place. Take some dragon's tongue on the way down. So we're going to take the carriage stop to Riverwood, and then we'll just truck it from Riverwood to Ryx End, which is kind of midway between Riverwood and Whiterun. And Ryx End has all my crafting facilities right there, including the forge and a smelter. So I can smelt some ebony ingots, and then I'll show you the armor set that we're gonna head into once we get enough ebony ingots and skulls. Wouldn't wear an armor like that blocks my vision? Well, if you're wearing a helmet, it's gonna be blocking a lot more a lot more vision than that. I personally probably would appreciate the neck protection. It's usually a weak point. Okay, heading to Ryx now. So I was thinking a little bit about Cassius Viridius here, and we got some of his backstory, right? He was in the Legion. He was a big follower of the Nine Divines and Saint Alessia and the Pantheon. Therein.
Toss a coin to your hero.
Oh boy, here's an earworm for you.
Oh, Valley of Whiterun, oh. Now that is what I call an earworm.
Oh, there you go. You even used the word earworm. It's from the Witcher series. Toss a coin to your Witcher. Now, that's all stuck in everybody's head all over again. You're welcome. Damn it, Lucian. Okay, so Cassius here. He was in the Legion. He's a big follower of Saint Alessia and the Nine Divines. The fact that Talos was dropped from that pantheon kind of officially by the Empire to end the Great War really rubbed him the wrong way. But Talos was not an original part of that pantheon. That was added later. It was contentious, right? But the elves didn't like adding him to the pantheon, but the humans were all pretty universally into it, I think, from what I know. There were probably some Alessian purists that didn't want Talos in there, but, you know, Talos himself is kind of like an Alessian figure. So it's kind of weird that Talos would be ascended to godhood, but Alessia herself wasn't. Saint Alessia, and then, you know, Tiber Septim became Talos when he supposedly ascended, right? So there's a little bit of contentiousness there. It's Cassius's purity and belief of the Alessian pantheon, including Talos, that drove him to leave the Legion, right? But in Winter Sun, Talos is definitely a part of this. He is officially part of the Alessian pantheon. Officially, being that he was kind of like voted in by humans, not so much by the other gods in the pantheon, I suppose. So it's weird that his purity would lead him to leave the Legion when Talos was removed, but not lead him to question why Talos was ascended, but Alessia was not. You know? So that I was thinking about that a little bit. And then also, what happened before that? He joined the Legion because he likes protecting people, but what drove him to want to protect people? I feel like something happened in his backstory, in his lifetime, in his past, where he felt the need to pay penance for something or to be redeemed for something that he did, something that he felt very guilty for. And it's not just like that regular religious guilt that is instilled with people from a young age. It's more than that, I think. Something very specific or traumatic that may have happened, like maybe he caused a younger sibling to die in his youth or something, and he vowed from an early age to be more protective. I don't know. Maybe you guys can help me come up with ideas for that. What's a coin? Is that a septum? Toss a septum to your dragonborn. Doesn't roll off the tongue well. No, it doesn't roll as well. I wonder if we'll ever see an Elder Scrolls game set earlier, so in ES7 we can meet Talos. That would be pretty awesome. I don't know if they would go back for a mainline Elder Scrolls game. I only see them going forward, but I could see spin-offs. Like maybe Obsidian or somebody would do a spin-off Elder Scrolls game that went back in time. We could play through the Alessia and maybe play as Pelennor White. Oh, that would be awesome. Having like almost like a character action role-playing game where you play as Pelennor Whitestrake through the Alessian revolt. That would be badass. I mean, receiving the blood of the dragon and accepting the covenant and all your descendants being able to maintain the barrier kind of makes you a god in your own right. Well, yeah, maybe demigod status, so you're halfway there already, right? You do have godlike blood running through your veins. That's a good point. I always just figured it was his deeds that got him ascended. Kind of like unifying all of Tamriel was the big thing that got him ascended, not so much the blood, but that does make sense.
There's no place like home.
Because the Elder Scrolls transcend time. Well, it could happen. Dragon breaks are a thing. Using the Elder Scroll on Alduin, the tongues sent him forward in time. So why couldn't we send somebody back in time? And they kind of played with that concept a little bit with Starfield, where you enter the Unity and get taken back to the point where you met Constellation. That is time travel. It's a interdimensional time travel, but it's still time travel, right? So they played around with it. Maybe they're using it as a prototype for something in the Elder Scrolls universe. I wouldn't be opposed to that. Talos, or rather Tiber Septim, did become a god, achieving Kim and eventually ascending to being a dreamer. In short, he is the end-all be-all of Elder Scrolls gods. We don't know who the godhead is. The dreamer is kind of similar to Iluvatar, who created all... Yeah, you guys are going way deeper into the lore than what I am familiar with. That's some like Kirkbride shit. I should read those books at some point. I know they're not canon. Well, I guess it's controversial whether or not they're canon.
Hello there, Castian.
But they definitely sound interesting. It could drive some inspiration for character builds, for sure.
What a coincidence. I need to trade some things with you too.
Okay, we need the ebony here. Let's go ahead and make some ingots out of that. We have a regular skull. We only have one skull. I think I need a skull for each armor piece. So I did check the Hall of the Dead in Whiterun, and I didn't see any detached skulls there. There were lots of skeletons that you both could and couldn't loot, but there were no separate skulls there. Okay, definitely taking the cape off. We don't want to be wearing something that loose and flammable around a smelter and a forge. Oh, I can make an ingot out of that mask as well. Yes, please. Oh yeah, I think we have plenty of ingots now. Now we're just going to be limited by skulls. All right. I need the pants. What else do I need for the pants? Basically, Talos and Vivek both broke the Matrix, realizing that it's all a dream. Man, getting into some red pill, blue pill shit now. Let's see. Dark Knight boots, black. We want the silver ones. And I like the silver ones with the tassets better. And I need 4 leather strips. I'm pretty sure if I don't have the leather strips, I can come up with them very quickly here. We do have the leather strips already. Dark Knight boots, silver with the tassets. Thank you. I think I only had the 1 skull, so I don't think I can make any more. But this is the armor set I am working on here. It's got the physics on the tassets. I like it. Nice shiny plate armor, shiny boots. Still need the gauntlets and the helmet. And we'll figure out some kind of cape situation to wear with it if needed, because it does have physics around the waist here too. So yeah, this is the Dark Knight set. It comes in both black and silver variants, and for the cleric, obviously we're going silver. This is my kind of set. Once we get the helmet, actually I'm gonna do a quick save, and I'll make sure to load this quick save when I'm done displaying what the rest of it looks like. So as you can see from the helmet, it's very reminiscent of that Dark Crusader, that is it Dark Crusader set? Divine Crusader? It's the one that Magus was using in his last playthrough, his Pyromancer, Necromancer dude, Death Knight dude. Very reminiscent of that set, but just a little cleaner, a little less intricate with some of the Gothic design. And because of that, I feel like it works well with other equipment. DCR King Crusader. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of a classic one that people have used for that Gothic sort of Crusader, Death Knight kind of vibe. This one looks a lot like it, in my opinion. And I think this will be great for a cleric or even a paladin character. And it, like I said, it has a black variant as well. So if you're playing more of a Death Knight, this works well with that as well, I think. But yeah, this is what I'm going for. Still need to be able to craft the helmet and the gauntlets, though. And probably not going to use the weapons that go with it because I need a mace. So does it look good on you? It might. Let's try it out. I feel like I tried it out. We'll model it. We'll do a little catwalk stage stomp here for Cassius. Oh, hell yeah. I'm liking it. I don't even think I need the cape, but we could put like the white fur on there. It still works. Damn, that looks good, dude. I'm digging it. There are a couple more armor sets that I wanted to try out too. There's the silver armor set and there's the Griffin Knight regalia. May as well show those off too. Damn, that looks good though. I'm really liking that. Maybe white linen cape will go well with this too. No. Yeah, that looks pretty good too. A little more clipping just because I think it's thinner than the fur one. But again, I don't even think we need the cape. I think it looks pretty good without. Some wonkiness with the lighting, but that just might be Ryx not playing nice. Yeah, take the quick light off. Might just have too many light sources or something. Yeah, I'm digging it. And then, let's see, silver armor set. No. Do we go with the ESP or the ESL? Probably ESL. There's an HTT physics. We'll just grab all these. This is another one I think Haster recommended, but I think I already had it. Yeah, this looks like the helm without the headdress. And this is the helm with the headdress, and it does have the... damn, that looks sick too. Man, I'm going to have a hard time figuring out what I want to use between these. And with the cloak, some clipping on the shoulders, but on the back it still looks pretty sick. Lots of physics, lots of clipping, but I don't really mind all of that. The physics, especially when the wind is blowing, it really brings some drama that you don't get without the physics, and it really kind of makes a character more awe-inspiring looking. Yeah, this looks really good too. What does the different cuirass do? Oh, the cuirass has the tassets on it. Damn, that is a sick looking set. All right. And then there's the Griffin Knight Regalia, which I think might be the last set that I installed for Griffin Knight. Just type in Griffin. DK set looks better, you think? It looks a little more like a gothic crusader kind of style, right? This one looks more a little bit like knight based. Where'd the Griffin Knight stuff go? There we go. This one I really like as well, but this is a little more warrior, I think, than crusader or paladin or cleric in this case. I don't know, this one's pretty sick too. I'm gonna make them all. We're gonna figure out, you know, what enchantments we're gonna put on these for the end game and stuff. But yeah, I think I'm leaning Dark Knight as well. Let's see, we can catch up on chat here. Kinda cool looking. I like the crown as well. Yeah, there's also a couple of skulls in the Helgen tunnels, I believe. Okay, I can go check that out. We could go do that right now, actually. We're close. Noticed Ryek's lighting is pretty bad sometimes. Yeah, I think he just uses too many light sources. Ah, yes, the silver armor. Very cool set. I like it. Some clipping is unacceptable, but then sometimes clipping looks more realistic. It depends on how it clips and how much. I think it's the armor from Lords of the Fallen, the Dark Knight set. It looks kind of like it. I've never played that game. It got kind of like the 6 and 7 out of 10 reviews, I think, which probably, I don't know. Most of those games that I play I actually end up really liking. So definitely, I might have the first game on my backlog already in my library. I have not bought the new one yet. And I haven't played either one of them. I just got too much shit on my backlog. Make all the sets and get the knights to put the armor on. Yes, there you go. Give some to Lucy in there. Although I'm kind of liking Lucy and stuff, but he might be a hand-me-down protege. Might give Lucy in the set that I'm currently wearing when I get the Dark Knight stuff, and vice versa as we progress. Broken Helm Hollow has 15 skulls. Looked it up. Oh shit, that's good. Broken Helm Hollow. Where's Broken Helm Hollow at? Southeast of Riften, yes. Okay. Excellent. I know where that is now. All right. Well, let's go do that. We still have an hour left in the stream. Let's see if we can get this set put together, huh? Reload that quick save. I don't want to have all this armor in my inventory. So yeah, looking good with just the boots and the cuirass. Let's unload some crafting. Oh, damn it. That always happens with this third person selection business. Let's see. Ebony. All the crafting materials. Leather. Do I have any leather strips? I just took what I needed, I think. Okay. Lucian, you got anything more for me?
Good evening.
Need to trade. Here we go.
Sure, let's trade.
Got a troll skull, no actual scrolls. Thanks, Michael, for looking that up for me. That's very helpful.
On we go.
Now we'll throw the bellows in there too. Let's see. Linen wraps, we'll throw those in there too. And then I just gotta do the same for
Whatever you say, boss.
the alchemy ingredients as well. Side of that mountain. Yeah, I recognized the name as soon as you said it. Then I was like having trouble picturing. But yeah, the southeast of Riften was all I needed. Yeah, you go up the tunnel. There's a couple archers guarding the... It's not a very big dungeon either. It's crazy that there's 15 skulls in there. But I like it. I'll take it. Quick dungeon to clear. That many skulls is going to give us a lot of armor there. We only really need 2, honestly. But I don't mind having extras in case I want to try the black variant. If Cassius takes like a dark turn at some point, becomes a dark cleric instead of a... It's probably not going to happen. I don't think the cleric spells in Triumvirate lead themselves too much to a dark character, but they could. Is there anything else here? Yeah, I can sell off the iron plate stuff. Is there anything else that I want to leave behind? Nah, I can sell all the rest of that stuff. All right, let's hitch a ride to Riften, shall we? How are we doing on needs? Okay, we'll go ahead and shack up here for the night. Just get rid of that floating lid. Raw leg of goat. Let's go ahead and make some goat roast out of that. I'm going to need some salt. Just a couple of salt piles. I kind of wish that there was a place to access your alchemical ingredients real close to that cooking pot there. There is an access point next to your garden over here, but not one that I've seen close to the cooking station, which would be really helpful. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and harvest these as well. Here we go. Make room for some more. We can level up some alchemy in the morning when we're well rested. Sleep till 5. So let's see here. 4 will put us at midnight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We like to pray to the morning sunrise. That's one good thing Fallout 4 does. You can access your stuff at a home base easily. Yeah. In fact, the whole crafting system in Fallout 4 was quite good. One thing, like the one thing that I miss the most coming from Fallout 4 back to Skyrim is the materials marking in the inventories. It's like if you're looking for specific materials in Fallout 4, all you have to do is just mark them. And then whenever they show up in anybody's like vendor inventories and loot anywhere, or even out in the world, it's highlighted that you're looking for this thing. And it's a simple change, but it makes all the difference in the world if you're trying to craft something. In Skyrim, you either have to note it down or you just have to remember that, okay, I need leather strips, I need an iron ingot, I need, oh yeah, the lighting's going nuts in here. I need this many leather strips, I need an iron ingot, a quicksilver ingot, and like 7 steel ingots. And you either have to write that down somewhere or you just have to remember. And then if you have multiple pieces that you're trying to remember to make, forget about it, right? All right, let's grab Dragon Tongue, Fly Amanita, and Mora Tapanella. Do I have any? I don't have any alchemy gear yet. This should level up our crafting skills quite a bit and give us some stuff to sell for money to spend on training. And I never cooked up my goat roast either. I feel like restoration is going to be the slowest thing to level. I think my smithing skill is lower than anything else right now, besides alchemy. So I'm just trying to think of what to train. Maybe smithing? Either smithing or restoration. We'll figure it out. Okay, what are we doing here? We need to make some goat roast. We'll put the leftovers of our ingredients back in the alchemy supplies. Probably have some leftover dragon's tongue. And then we'll head to Broken Helm Hollow, get some skulls. Craft up the rest of that Dark Knight armor. Get our new set going. I'm excited. New armor. This armor is great. It's served a purpose. It fits the theme very well. But we've been using it for a long time. I'm excited to try something new. And stronger. This stuff's just steel. The Dark Knight stuff is going to be... It's going to give us some higher armor rating for sure. Bro, what house are we in? That is Ryek's End. It's my favorite. It's my favorite player home. It's... so you can see what it's called in case you want to search for it. Ryek's End. It's been around forever. It's basic. It's a literal hole in the wall over here in the side of the cliff between Whiterun and Riverwood. But it has all the amenities you need. It's fairly minimalist. It's not too lavish. It does give you a couple weapon racks and one mannequin to display some stuff on, and that's usually where I put my work in progress armor set for whatever I got going on next. Here seems like a pretty good place to pray. Akatosh gives us the fastest progression. Hey, Lucian, you just learning from the master here, I guess? Or are you trying to get me to do something awful? Won't even entertain it. There we go. All right, head back to Riverwood. Actually, let's go to Whiterun. Oh, we need to eat and drink and be merry. Going to Whiterun, the carriage driver there is really close to where the Khajiit caravan spawns in, and I'd like to get the rare curios ingredients from them whenever they pop up. There's some really strong crafting ingredients there for both smithing and enchanting that give you a 50% boost to the end effect whenever you use them to craft a potion. So I always like to try to check their inventory and grab whatever they have there. What's the build this time? This is a Triumvirate Cleric. This is Cassian Viridius. He is an Imperial, former Legionnaire. Did not like the fact that Talos was dropped from the Alessian Pantheon with the White Gold Concordat, so he stopped, or he quit the Legion. focused on his studies of of Saint Alessia and her pantheon. And now he's just kind of like a traveling monk, just trying to help a little bit. He's spreading the good word of Alessia through deeds rather than through prose, I guess, through preaching. So he's more of a battle cleric than he is a talkie cleric. And I think he probably has something that he feels very guilty for in his past, that he puts himself through the punishment. He's got sunken eyes. He's looking old for his age. I would say he's probably mid-40s. He's been through some stuff, but he puts himself through more punishment than probably he needs to do. He's always looking for penance for something that he did in his past, even though I haven't quite figured out what that was yet. I did watch Solomon Kane for the first time last night, and that dude felt a lot of guilt for what he did to his brother. So I'm kind of feeling like maybe the same thing happened with Cassius here. Or he kind of just, tortures himself to make right some sins of the past. Solomon had some other things going on too. He was basically a pirate king for a while. He did a lot of pillaging and sacking of villages and stuff for riches, and he, was really trying to pay penance for that. I do not see the Khajiit caravan out here, so we'll head straight to Riften. The Khajiit caravan also sets up close to the carriages in Riften as well, so we'll check that too. He's almost like a warrior pope, which was a historical... Was it a historical thing? I did not know that. Let's see here. Riften, please.
Climb and back, and we'll be off.
Of course we will. And don't rush me. I'm wearing heavy armor.
Sun feels good, huh?
Yeah, it does. There's a really old player home mod that is based on a Japanese place, however, it's very small. I don't mind the small stuff. Cosmic Mike, welcome in. I did not see your name earlier in the chat, so if you snuck in earlier, sorry for missing you, but... Yep, that's the build. Okay, so build-wise, I'm going to do a quick save here because I don't know if I've spent all of my training points for this level. Gotta really remember to reload that because I don't think Magico is what I wanted. We're leaning into fire magic and destruction right now. It synergizes really well with the Consecrated Ground Triumvirate spell. And then we'll be doing some raw power because Consecrated Ground also scales off of raw power, I've seen. I don't know if that was meant to happen that way, but it does. Also, the shock stuff we'll be getting into as well. I need to figure out how to split my 50 perks between fire and shock, but both of those are represented in the Triumvirate destruction spells. Restoration as well. I'm still looking for spirit tutors. I haven't found a single one yet, but you can find these out on the road, and they will strengthen your restoration effects, which is good. I think I also want vigilant, which allows you to keep your ward up without having to spend the magicka on it. And of course, hallowed, burial, exorcist, all this stuff works well against undead, and we're going to be specializing against undead because the triumvirate spells do fire damage, shock damage, and also sun damage. So he's going to be an undead sort of witch hunter specialist as well. So some more perks that I want to get in there. Smithing we're doing just so that we can craft some of the endgame gear that we want and also keep our armor rating topped off because we do take some damage. Same with heavy armor here. There's also some stuff here that synergizes with having allies in terms of rallying standard that we'll take soon enough. And then in the one-handed skill tree, we're going to be going through the mace subtree, particularly with spite here. I just want to power up my power attacks because when I do a power attack, it releases the restoration aura spells that I cast, and when I release those spells, something awesome happens. So for Aura of Might, it causes a big burst of fire and sun damage when I release that spell, and the spell will automatically release when I do a power attack. Vigor makes people invulnerable. There's another one later on that I think heals people when it releases as well. So looking forward to that expert level spell once we get trained up. So that's kind of what the build is looking like there. And we've seen it in action a few times earlier in the stream, and we will moving forward as well, even though against non-undead enemies. And it looks like we missed the Khajiit caravan again. No big deal. I do want to head into Riften though and sell off some of this stuff that I have to loosen up my encumbrance window a little bit, and then we'll head to Broken Helm Hollow to get some skulls for our new armor set. Yeah, those are the skills I'm using. So I'm using classic classes and birth signs reimagined, which gives you 6 spells to concentrate on, and of course you can expand from that, but it does boost up those 6 main skills that you choose. Oh crap, I did not reload my save after I leveled up there. So I chose heavy armor, smithing, one-handed, restoration, illusion, and destruction. Restoration, illusion, and destruction are the triumvirate archetype spells or skills. And the illusion is for the spirit guardian here, which gives you an equipable summoned ally. So I can put heavy armor on him or her, whoever spawns. And then they will synergize with that rallying standard perk that I will take at some point. Kind of surprised you're not using the AE backpacks. I use them. I don't always like the way that they look. I think putting a backpack on someone always makes them look like a college student. So for a mid-40s Triumvirate Cleric, I feel like he probably, I don't know. It just doesn't look right seeing him trotting around with a backpack on. They do give you some more storage encumbrance. I do have some of the bandolier box packs here on the front and side, which does increase my encumbrance by 200, and I could add some more to that if I wanted, but I don't want to sacrifice the look of the character. I've come to realize that the look of the character has so much importance for like the identity of the build, how much you feel, how you feel toward your character. If your character looks awesome and you can kind of make him match as closely as possible to what's in your mind's eye for the build, it goes a long way for inspiration to actually want to play the game and to continue the playthrough. But also if you're posting your builds online like I do, and your Let's Plays online, how your character looks has a huge impact on viewership. People who see a compelling looking character will more often than not choose to click than if they just see like a boring ass character that maybe doesn't fit the drama and the concept that you wanted for your character. So things like, having a flowing cloak instead of a backpack goes a long way for getting people to watch your video and be interested in your build.
Or just here for
but
training?
Also, it might just inspire you to play the game more.
Everything I've got on display.
And mileage may vary for everybody, obviously. Things that inspire some people are not the same things that inspire other people. But for me, that makes a huge difference. Now, that being said, I might grab a backpack just to use for when I need it. But so far, I have, Lucian who can carry stuff for me. I have a Spirit Guardian who can carry stuff for me. Although when she dies, all of her inventory gets put into my inventory, so that might cause an immediate encumbrance. But I also have Miko, who is affected by Nether's follower framework, and I can just unload all my crap onto him if I need to. So encumbrance hasn't really been an issue, but I do want to make sure I'm
Greetings, honored friend. Just what you
selling off
here.
some stuff. I had like a lot of heavy armor and stuff in my inventory that I wanted to get rid of. I think we're good now.
Landstrider.
Yeah, we're down to 190. That's plenty. Okay, let's go ahead and throw our cloak on, and we'll head to Broken Helm Hollow to get those skulls that Michael told us about here. I've had some 20 hours of no fast travel on my current character after taking spirit tutors and haven't seen one yet. I do love the perks that add things to find like that though. Yeah, I do too. And I go a lot of hours between finding those spirit tutors too. They always do end up showing up for me. The problem with a lot of players' load orders is they also have mods that add expanded random encounters on the road. I do as well. I have like a couple different patrol mods and things like that where the more things you have in that bucket of things that can randomly pop up for you, the less likely you are to get any single one of them because, you know, the odds are spread thinner over more encounters. So the more random encounters that you have to encounter in that bucket, the less likely you are to actually get the one that you're looking for, in this case being the spirit tutors. If that makes sense. I think it does. Made sense to me as I was saying it. Probably over-explained it, as I tend to do. I'm a chronic mansplainer, I guess. Get some of this canis root while we're out here, too. We can make some good potions with that stuff. I also think canis root usually is the ingredient that I take for my paralysis poisons, but it does also have a good one-handed fortification effect on it as well. So we'll take those as we see them. They pop up in these rocky outcrops here in the rift. We got some bandits we're taking on here. Do I have Aura of Might ready to go? No, let's get that going.
I'm warning you. Back off.
I want you to attack the bandit. There we go. Miko needs some more help up here, so we'll help him out with the archer. And you took care of the other one? Excellent. Good job. Good teamwork, guys. King. I think that's a block skill book. We do have 3 lockpicks here. How am I so short on lockpicks? They're usually... I've never had issues with lockpicks like I have with this guy. Wait, was there a nest or something over here? Nah, we're good. I'm pretending your spirit guardian is Joan of Arc. I like it. I could also probably rename her with Jackson's renamer, but I don't want to cause any problems with any scripts or anything. Oh, big stretch. Karn is actually waiting for AE gym duffel bags, yeah. True story. I need to turn a fan on. I'm getting warm. You guys probably saw my sweaty armpits while I was stretching. Perverts. My character, however, went through a ton of changes until her current version, which she was inspired by Sora from Kingdom Hearts. Cool. I've never played the Kingdom Hearts games, but people really like them. I'll play them someday, most likely. I'm a fan of the Final Fantasy series, and I think same studio made both. Let's see. Yes, my patrol mods add things with heavy weight too, so it makes rare ones like the tutors and headless horsemen very rare. Yeah, same here. Duffel bag mod would actually be pretty cool. Yeah, Bandoliers does have a satchel that you can use for like your mage characters. It's just a strap with a bag on the one side, kind of like a duffel bag, but not quite the same thing. The contrast between your bright armor and your followers' dark armor is really cool. Yeah, we got the ebony and ivory thing going on. Yeah, kind of cool looking. Now, Lucian's probably going to get this armor when I move on to the next set, so we're not going to have the yin and yang thing going on. at that point.
So you better come with us right now.
I don't know who you think I am, and I don't
Oh,
care.
we got 2 random encounters here in the same.
I don't have time for this foolishness.
Same area.
Now
Interesting.
come along quietly, and we won't have to get rough. Brother, I think she's telling the truth.
I'm not going anywhere. Now back off before I do.
Talking a larger bag with a higher carry weight increased. Okay. Okay. There might already be something like that. I just don't keep up with all the mods like I used to, or like I should, probably. All right. You guys ready to fight some archers? Let's see how well I can tank these arrows. Actually, at this distance, I can just kind of strafe back and forth, and we're good. Man, consecrated ground procced too far away. Man, just playing t-ball with these bandits' heads. I like it. What mace are you using? This is the Marauder from one of Billy Rowe's compendium armor kits. Actually, let me see if I can find that for you real quick. Should be a quick search. Just make sure there's no naked people on the Skyrim page right now. Billy Rowe. Ultimate Swords Anthology. Might be this one. Knightly Mace. I have all of, well, maybe not all of it, but I have most of Billy Rowe's stuff. Yeah, here it is, Marauder. And there's also actually a 2-handed version of it you can use as well. I'll go ahead and post that in chat. Some of the best looking weapons in all of Nexus, in my opinion. Okay, we're gonna have some higher leveled enemies in here because they're not outside in the overworld, so to speak. We have Consecrated Ground doing its magic. That did actually cast a wide enough area that we're good. Oh, we got the 2-hander coming after me. And we still have the Chief to deal with too, I think. Ooh, the Chief is tough. Wearing that dragon plate armor, huh? She dodged my power attack. Come on. Fire it back up. Here we go. Okay, that one took a lot. Good, good, good. There we go. Some hot cleric action for you. Good thing I let go of some of that encumbrance, because I can sell this stuff off for a pretty penny, that's for sure. The dragon plate stuff, not really a cleric type item, more of a savage warrior type thing. Alright, now we need to find these skulls here. Probably in the hidden compartment where you find Leifnar, I'm guessing. Definitely going to take all these crafting ingredients, but the skulls are the main thing we're here for. Let's check upstairs. Ah, here's 2 of them. Ooh, a whole bunch of them right there. Good call, Michael. Michael is the hero of this stream. Well done, friend. Oh, I didn't unlock that thing before I... Yeah, it wouldn't have hurt much anyway, I don't think. Look at all these skulls. Thank Google. Well, you're the one who asked Google. Just in case I want to make extra sets of it at some point, if I enchant it and want to re-enchant a new set or something, I'm taking all of them. Or if I want to get Lucian into a Dark Knight set, we can do that as well. Okay, let's clear out this place. Let's check if we have anything more in the hidden room here. She's wearing Dragonbone armor? The dragons in your game yet? There are no dragons in my game, but this is the dragon plate stuff added by AE. So I think that this is statically placed on this bandit chief. For whatever reason. That's how the modder decided to do it. We shall report Leifnar's death to his family. Nothing else I want in here except for the corundum ore. We probably will need some steel ingots at some point. Some of the higher level gear that we want to craft up. I miss Jay-Su's sword. I wish he updated them, but he never did. Yeah, his stuff is still available on the Nexus anyway. I have it installed in my game. Spell Cauterize. That sounds like a cleric type thing. Healing and destruction all in the same spell. One of those weird arcanum ones.
Life? Or did the bandit life choose them?
Probably a little bit of both, depending on the person, I would say. Some good ingredients in here, maybe. Yeah, I don't need the carrots for anything. Take the apples, though. We can snack on those. Got more corundum over here. A lot of bleeding crown. Haven't seen any fly amanita yet. You can give it to Uthgerd, who is my favorite vanilla follower. Uthgerd the Unbroken. She's a good one. Give the dragon plate to Lucian. Yeah, Lucian doesn't strike me as a dragon plate kind of guy either. And again, the aesthetics are very important to me at this point in my Skyrim career. Kind of like how they say fashion Souls is the end game of any Souls-like game. It's kind of like Fashion Rim too. Trying to make your character concept as compelling as possible. Nice. Disappearing walls there. Interesting. Probably just a byproduct of having a wider FOV than what the game was meant for. Oh, Mira's rot, sure. Uthgerd is hyper aggressive and uses lots of two-handed power attacks, making her great for players who need a meat shield or want to stay in the back. That's nice. Yeah, that would be a strong candidate for a follower for this character. I just feel like roleplay-wise, Lucian he plays the protege role really, really well. And part of his penance, I feel like, for Cassius here is to pass on his knowledge and his way of life and his passion for Saint Alessia to the youth, and that's kind of what he's doing with Lucian right now. So it feels like build-wise, Uthgerd would be a great follower, fantastic follower, probably because she is also in need of redemption. Lucian, Lucian gives us some things here. He gives us quest lines, he gives us story, he gives us added dialogue to be more compelling, and he also gives us a protege, right? You can actually physically train him, teach him spells, and train his skills up.
Excellent. What shall we work on this time?
I want to teach you a spell. Can I teach you a spell?
You do? Splendid. Which spell?
Choking Grasp, never. I think I have a Heal Other spell that I would like to teach him, but for whatever reason.
Right.
Do I have Heal Other? I thought I did. Healing Touch. It's not. Maybe he already knows Healing Touch, he just doesn't use it. Because I'm constantly healing everybody all the time, and it doesn't. He ends up not using it. But yeah. It gives you gameplay mechanics to actually act as a mentor and not just kind of roleplay it. And make it up in your own head. That being said, I might actually take on Uthgerd at some point. If I do a companions, well, she kind of doesn't jibe well with the companions. But if I'm at a point where I'm kind of in between quest lines, and we're just doing bounties or something in Whiterun, I might take her on. Because that is, and I'll definitely put that in the build guide too, because it does jibe really well with the whole redemption aspect that the cleric is going for. Oh, it has to be a tome. I have to have the tome available to teach him. That's why I only have Choking Grasp. Good call, James. Yep, that's the reason why. New goal, make Uthgerd the leader of the companions. Interesting. We could definitely roleplay that once Codlack's out of the picture. That could be a nice little roleplay stint. Little story stretch there. Little story arc. I like it. See? This is why I pay you guys. Don't worry, the check's in the mail. Yeah, these streams are meant to help you guys help me, and then help me help you in kind of this circular, like, building session, right? I do take on a lot of the ideas that you guys have. Some of them I don't, because they kind of clash with the plans that I had for the character a little bit. But because of James's suggestion to take on illusion for the Steger build that I have, I completely restarted that character, and I think the illusion stuff fit much better than the conjuration stuff that I was using for that character. And I do really like this Uthgerd arc. I think I'm going to implement it at some point. I'll put it in the build guide as you know, in the gear and the roleplay sections as well. So good suggestion, nobody. Cicero is a dead thrall, keeps all his lines. That's awesome. I didn't know that. We getting paid. You're getting paid in entertainment and companionship. How about that? I mean, I may make 30 cents off of ad revenue off of one of these streams. So split that. Current viewers right now, there are 10 of them, so everybody gets three US cents. How about that? I'll send you the pennies.
Riften, city of 1,000 suspicious smells.
Looks like exposure's back on the menu, boys.
From a distance, that is.
Okay, so we got to take the cloak and this shit off. Okay. All right, I think we're good here. We got about 20 minutes left in the stream. Let's go craft up that new armor. Craft it up. We'll temper it. If we have the ebony ingots, we should. Yeah, we'll be good. Oh, I did want to check. Let's check with Helga, right? Not Helga. Who's the armor?
Hello, friend.
Grelka.
You gonna buy something? Or
Just to see
here
if
for
I have
training?
any
I'll teach you
training
how to
points
use it
left. No, I
effectively
don't. So I can
and
go
keep
ahead
it
and
quick on
level
your
up for
feet.
free now. Free to level up. Okay, so I've been doing 2 in Magicka, 2 in Health, and 1 in Stamina this whole time. So let's see, 26 and 27 would be Magicka, 28 and 29 would be Health, and 30 would be Stamina. There we go. One-handed. Let's take the power attack. Smite here. That will synergize well with the power attack stuff that we got going on already. And then what are we going to train in when we get around to training? Let's see, we have 80 in one-handed. That's been keeping up pretty well. Only 71 in illusion, 70 in destruction, 71 in restoration. So it looks like we're going to be talking to Feralda at some point soon here. Okay, we can do that off stream. Right now we have a new armor set to craft up. I am kind of worried about the amount of ebony ingots that I have. So let's check the inventories of the people in town here, just for any extra ebony ingots that they might have.
Perform the finest weapons and armor.
We do have 4 ebony ingots here. Ooh, it's gonna wipe us out. That's okay. We have a bunch of potions and stuff we can sell off.
Come see me again.
That might just about do it anyway. I don't know. If we need more, we can get more. But hopefully that gives us enough ebony ingots to craft up the rest of the stuff and also to temper it. 3 cents back for giving 2. Great return. Actually, yeah, you stack that up enough, then that is actually a pretty great return for passive income. I'd take it. No, we're gonna take this place back to Riverwood, I think. For Riverwood. I'm getting hungry. What's for lunch? What's for dinner? What are you guys eating? I might do some like chicken nuggets and tater tots. I also have some biscuits that I heated up. Just, I love those biscuits that come in the roll, right? That you peel them off and they explode and then you just put them in the oven. I love those things. They're not on the same quality as something you get from a bakery, right? But I don't know, something from my childhood. They're all just kind of warm and moist coming out of the oven. You melt some butter on them. Ooh, it's good. So I want that. I want some chicken nuggets, I think, with some Chick-fil-A sauce or maybe some barbecue sauce. Chicken pie with potatoes and peas. That sounds amazing too. I love a chicken pot pie. My wife's not as keen on the chicken pot pie, so I don't eat it as much as I'd like to. But I could go off on my own. I could go rogue and eat a chicken pot pie at some point. I don't think she'd mind it too much. Steak. I might also include bagels randomly. Bagels and steak. I'm into it. I think those would go. It's not something that people actually eat together as a meal, but I think they go. Making egg sandwiches. Now you're talking. I have some eggs and bacon in the fridge. I might have the eggs and bacon with the biscuits. You mean cookie dough? It's kind of like the cookie dough. This actually comes in like it's got two like tin ends on it, so it's a cylindrical. It's not in a tube like the cookie doughs that was just kind of like wrapped in plastic or whatever. It's cardboard, and then it has two tin ends on it, and it has a paper wrapper on it. You peel the paper wrapper off, and then the cardboard kind of explodes under the pressure that the biscuit dough is causing on the inside, and then you kind of twist it apart, and then you peel the biscuits out. They're like separated, but you peel them out and you put them on like a cooking sheet, and then you put them in the oven for a little bit, and they make biscuits. I don't know if you have them over there in the UK like that, but they're pretty ubiquitous from people's childhoods here in the States. Grand's Pillsbury biscuits. We've all had them. Not a thing in the UK, but I do know of it. Okay. Steer and schmear? Hey, there you go. Good one, Michael. Michael's winning the stream today, guys. I'm calling this meal working with what I have. It's okay. You know what? The other day, my wife was out of town, so I had like free license for, you know how girls have girl dinner where they just eat like a bunch of sides or whatever? I had boy dinner. I just fried up a bunch of bacon and I made those biscuits, and that was my dinner. I had a bunch of other stuff to work with too. I'd just gone to Costco and gotten things for like all kinds of meals that I could have eaten. And I had bacon and biscuits for dinner, and it was amazing. No regrets. Would recommend. Okay, what are we doing here? We are crafting up the rest of our shiz. We're going to need ebony ingots. We're going to need leather strips. We'll go ahead and grab the rest of the leather that we have here too. We have the skulls in the inventory still, I believe. So we need, what do we need? We need the helm, silver helmet, and we need the silver gauntlets, the gloves. Okay, we got the full set now. Excellent. Now we just need to temper it up. Let's see what kind of armor rating we can get out of this bad boy. I'm guessing it's taking ebony ingots. I'm going to be shocked if it's taking steel ingots or something, though. Do I have any smithing potions that I can use on this too here? Nothing in that inventory. I have a blacksmith's potion. That's all I have. Well, we'll use it. Do a quick save just in case I muck something up here. We're going to drink that potion, and then I think we got like 30 seconds. Yeah. Craft everything up here. 2, 3, 4. Wow, there is no requirements for that. Interesting. It's got to be a bug. Anyway, we got a new set of armor here. We got to figure out what kind of enchantments we're putting on it too, but I don't really have much in the way of enchanting. Damn, that looks sick. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy, I'm feeling it. What armor set did you guys like best? I'm kind of halfway between this one and the silver armor. I thought the silver armor looked really good, especially with the white cloak. Made it look a little more holy-esque. But this one works well with the white cloak too. And there's not a lot of clipping on this. When he turns his head sometimes with the hood or whatever, it happens. But yeah, this is looking nice. Calf liver and bacon. It's one of my favorites. I've never had liver before. A lot of people really hate liver. A lot of people really like it. But usually people who like liver is having it with bacon. And bacon just makes everything taste better. Looks pretty good. I like the crown also. I do like the crown. It gives it a little more of a religious bent to it for a cleric.
Or is it where you hang your hat?
Batman armor. Yes, indeed.
Hat? Should we be giving hats to the homeless?
Desert X Dark Knight armor is one of my favorites. You like liver and liverwurst? Wasn't here the whole time, but was the Celeborn armor discussed? It was not, but I think Celeborn is light armor. I don't think I have that in my load order just yet. Oh, Celeborn, or was it Celebrimbor was the one that I'm thinking of? Yeah, Celebrimbor is the one that I'm thinking of. And I thought that was light armor. It was almost like an elven cleric set. Yeah. Yeah, we're going heavy armor for this one. And I could use the QAR, quick armor rebalancer, to make it into a heavy armor set, but it still doesn't look like heavy armor, you know? Looks like light plate. I can see Lucian wearing the Witcher Bear armor. Okay. The Ursine, Grand Ursine armor. Yeah, I could see that too. I was wearing that with my warrior, and that looked really sick with the physics and everything on it. Looked really well. What kind of stuff that okay, we got about 10 minutes left in the stream, so I wanted to just kind of like take a look and see what we had here. I could do a Fortify Destruction, Fortify Restoration. Probably Fortify Restoration. I'm casting that more actively in combat than I am Destruction. That'll give us an 8% savings. Not a ton, but could make a difference. Resist Disease I don't care about because I get a Shrine Blessing every time I pray, which cures all my diseases anyway. I don't have to worry about diseases at all. Regenerate Magic is a good one. But I feel like I can solve Magica Regeneration in the Restoration skill tree with a perk if I have the perk to spend on it. Fortify Health will also work well. Probably Fortify Restoration though. Is what I would pick for this one. On the boots, carry weight is great. Resist fire is also great. But those are the only two I have for boots. Yeah, like I said, my library of enchantments is kind of lacking at the moment because I've been spending a lot of money on training specifically as I progress through the skill levels. That's kind of always the top priority for me when I'm building a character concept like this, is get the levels up, and then everything else kind of works around that. So probably carry weight, resist fire. Resist fire is probably better. The gloves. And then once I have my training all set up, I can start spending that money on vendors and enchanted items that they have that I can add to my library here. Fortify Magica, probably, or even King of the Lost. King of the Lost would be a good one, I think. It would give us another ghostly companion to go with the Spirit Guardian. Kind of lean King of the Lost, and that should benefit from all the different buffs and stuff that I'm casting during combat from my allies. King of the Lost would be great. Sir, what difficulty are we playing on? Dabash, I am playing on Legendary difficulty. Always playing on Legendary difficulty. And welcome to the stream. I don't find your screen name to be familiar to me. So welcome aboard. If you are in fact new, if not, then I apologize for not recognizing you. Okay, and then I probably double up on Fortify Restoration or maybe Fortify Destruction on the helm, or even just do Regenerate Magicka at that point. I don't know, but I still have to acquire some Grand Soul Gems to use for all this stuff. I only have the one. And I could probably level up Enchanting a little bit more as well. Maybe even find like a potion, an Enchanting Potion. So I'm not going to do all that right now, but I can bequeath. That's bequeath with a TH and not an F, you perverts.
Hi.
Hi. Bequeath my older armor to Lucian here, although he looks really good in this armor. And I kind of like the contrast between his cheery attitude and the dark armor. I don't know. Let's see how he looks in the paladin stuff.
Sure, let's trade. Bye for now.
I definitely don't like
can I
the
assist?
fur mantle there. Let's take that away.
Take whatever you need. What's next?
The armor looks pretty good. Let's take the
Lucian
helmet
Flores,
off.
Reporting for duty. Of course. Right behind you.
I like how you can see more of his face through the helmet. I think that's more fitting, honestly. I do like the contrast between the brutalistic, like, dark knight armor and then his cheery attitude, but I think this just fits him a little better. I like this better, I think, especially for a cleric protege. This works a little better. Dang. Lucian, we're looking sexy as hell. The one thing... Oh, I should put the Vagrant stuff on the Spirit Guardian. Like Wednesday Addams smiling and Addams family values? Creepy. Yes, indeed. Yeah, it's like, oh, she's smiling, and then she's like, ew, she's smiling. I have to watch that series. I haven't watched it yet. I will, though. Maybe time to get the Black Star? Perhaps. I don't know if soul trapping is something, especially Black Souls. It's probably not something a cleric of Saint Alessia would be into doing. Unless, you know, we're trapping elven souls. That would be kind of a cool roleplay restriction, though. It's like, okay, we can trap Black Souls, but they have to be elven. Karn like Queef. Hey. You guys are the perverts, not me. I have hundreds of hours on Skyrim, but never played it with mods. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have thousands of hours in Skyrim, and so to keep it fresh, I kind of have to use mods. I do play vanilla every once in a while, though. All right, let's give her the badass Vagrant armor here. Where's the rest of the Vagrant armor? Oh, Lucian still has it.
Hello there, Castian. Take whatever you need.
I shall.
Bye for now.
And then at some point, I'll give the Spirit Guardian a bow and arrow once we start fighting dragons and stuff. But for now, I really need her to remain melee-centric. If she starts pulling out a bow and taking pot shots from downtown, that's going to completely defeat the purpose. Oh, I gave her the wrong set. I gave her the Dragonbone set, which would be very effective, but doesn't really look the part. There we go. Sexy. I like it. Now, did she have something that I can disenchant here? No, all good. Let's see. Oh, Family, the second movie. I did see that one from a long time ago. Christina Ricci, not the
Sometimes
newer
I wonder
girl
if it's time I
that
found
plays it
place
really
to
well,
settle down.
but
I'm good at settling. I have a special talent.
the girl who was in Beetlejuice. She's the new de facto goth girl for any movie or series that needs a goth girl. She's the one. Used to be Winona Ryder. Now it's what's her name? Can't think of her name. She was on SNL not too long ago as well. Christina Ricci and Black. Yeah, I like that Christina. Jenna Ortega, that's the one. Yep. Well, of course, she's an actual nymphomaniac in Black Snake Moan. That was a pretty good movie, though. I enjoyed the movie, and not just because she was hot in that. One problem I'm facing is that my follower uses their default bow instead of the one I give them. Oh, yeah, that may not be unequipable in a vanilla game either. I think you just have to make damn sure that the equipment that you're giving them outperforms their default bow. So just make sure that you're giving them a really super powerful melee weapon, and they should favor that one. But the AI range stuff is really hard to break them out of. I think Uthgard. There are some characters that do really well with the melee AI. In vanilla, they're all equipped with it. Yeah, and I don't think you can unequip it. But there are some followers that very much favor melee with their AI. I think nobody mentioned Uthgar earlier. And there are some other ones too. They're just not coming up in my brain for whatever reason. All right. I think we're good, guys. We have a new set. I'm gonna see what I can do about enchanting this stuff. But he's looking really, really cool. Like I said, it's like the King Crusader armor, the DCR stuff, but a little more clean, a little less intricate with some of the details. I think it fits a paladin really, really well. I'm really happy with how this is looking, and I'm really happy with Lucian in my old stuff too. I think this looks a lot more like a paladin in training than the Vagrant armor did. And then I think that the Spirit Guardian over here wearing the Vagrant stuff fits even better. I'm really, really liking it. Okay, I think we accomplished everything that I wanted to accomplish from the beginning of the stream, and that might be the very first time that's ever happened in this 3-hour window. It's like I start with lofty expectations, but we did everything I wanted to do. Next time we play this character, we're going to be doing some more questing, I think. Probably going to be a lot more action than materials gathering and crafting. So stay tuned for that. That'll be 2 weeks from now. So next week, I'm actually going to be doing the Thief again, and hopefully we can progress that a little further to level 50. And at some point, I want to do a check-in with the mage. I've been playing some of the mage off stream, just trying to get that build fleshed out. There's still a lot of spells that I need to study up on and see if I can find synergies with and different gameplay combos. But right now I do have the Sky UI equip sets working really well, going in through the different phases of combat. Being able to get each spell in each hand with the click of one button has been really instrumental in smoothing out the gameplay flow of that character. So we'll check in with him once I get him to a more finished state, I think, and I have some more combos with some of those spells. Yeah, I think that's it. Also, if you are just joining, my mission statement for this channel is to show you how to do cool stuff in Skyrim and to help you have better playthroughs. So go and click through my channel, check out the build guides, check out the little different modding and gameplay guides that I have out there. And if you like what you see, subscribe for more. It does help the channel out a lot. Like and subscribe the video. It's going to help me out more than anything else that you can do for the channel. It will inspire me to make more and better content. So please do that. Yeah, and then also click around in the description below if you like this. A lot of the same characters, a lot of the rogues gallery, the usual suspects. You can find us on other people's streams, people like Magus and The Wind and Maldaroth and stuff. They all stream fairly regularly on Twitch and other places, so do go leave them a follow, and you'll probably see a lot of the same people there if you just want to hang out. If you thought we were cool and you want to see more of us, that's what you can do. There's also a Discord. There's a link for the Karn114 Discord in the description below as well. So click on that, come hang out, and we can talk about builds and stuff. All right, that's it for me, guys. Thanks so much. Take it easy. See you next week.